Morning as we get going into a brand new month, October 1st. Welcome to day one of the government shutdown as well. A couple of economic data points to point out here this morning. Negative 32,000 was the ADP employment change number that came in there. It's 8:15. That's for September. Forecast was 40,000 to the upside. Consensus 50,000. Again, the actual number there, negative 32,000. Not a good look ahead of potentially we could get on-farm payrolls on Friday. Potentially we could not if there's no deal done here for the actual government. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI coming up at 9:45 just after the open. The ISM version of that then at 10 o'clock. We'll get some construction spending. It's Wednesday as well, so energy data coming through at 10:30. That's how the overall market is looking right now. I was just reading a note on a couple of different things actually. DraftKings moving around here, I'm just hearing in my ear, and there was also Upstart to the upside in a pretty big way here, back above 53 bucks. Morgan Stanley with a positive note on UPST this morning and an upgrade there. We'll talk about Nike, obviously, decent earnings report for Nike to the upside to the tune of about 4% here. Tesla's quarterly delivery numbers coming through as well. Not bad, but it could be quiet on the political side today, unless they come up with some sort of agreement here and get this back underway. I mean, there's a lot on the edge here that we need to get in the coming days as far as data is concerned that the market's watching very closely.
We're probably not likely to get those numbers on Friday, but you kind of felt that this was going to happen, Brendo. It was a pretty contentious tone going into the shutdown yesterday. 3 Democratic senators siding with Republicans, not enough though to move it through in the Senate. So we'll keep tabs on that. As Brendo mentioned, Nike reporting almost up 5%. Really good look here for wholesale as they shift from direct to consumer focused strategy into wholesale, and Bitcoin breaking out again, Brendo, as the market looks to hedge its bets with the government shutdown looming. And yes, you mentioned Tesla, of course, really recovering in Europe. We're starting to see some finally bottoming out there with some higher highs, and LAC again 35% as the Trump administration looking at taking yet another stake in this company.
I hate this stock. Just saying, I owned it. I got out at the bottom. I'll own that. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, it was $3. Here's Tesla right now, right at yesterday's consolidation area as we went into the close and into the aftermarket here. 444, 445, 450 up here, probably the bigger level if you zoom out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, finally, we're seeing some better, anyways, numbers.
Yeah, this is nice to see because we've been talking so much about the other products, Brendo. We've forgotten about the cars because it hasn't looked good, right? And they're lower margin products. And now we're talking about trillions of dollars in valuation. So it's really not going to be with cars with 18, 17% gross margins that you're going to reach these lofty valuations. Also, Uncle Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway taking or looking at taking or buying out the petrochemical business of Occidental, a company that he's been involved in for years. And now he's looking at taking part of it private.
But remember, he's not involved anymore.
No, of course not.
Not at all. There was this as well, the Kim K Angle Skims partnership with Nike as well coming through, $1.5 billion from the tariff side of things. Meanwhile, on the negative for NKE. Neil is back in the chair. Good to have him. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, welcome everybody, and come back to a shutdown. Yay!
Hey, Neil, you shut everything down.
I shut the government down. But question is, how long is it going to last? And
24 hours, maybe.
If you look at the betting markets, they don't think it's going to be that quick, apparently. So at Kalshi, they've got 11 days of forecast, 77% saying over 5 days, 56% saying more than 10 days.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that's only, the one in 2019 was longer than that, but certainly they're kind of predicting that we could be in it for, well, I mean, the U.S. could be in it for a while. So, yeah, the betting markets, I tend to trust. So they think it's going to not be a couple of day event here, but as we talked about with Michael on Monday, it's not always a doom and gloom for the overall market. Like the market generally is going to be up here. LAC, the government finally says their actual stake. So the U.S. government does take a stake in Lithium Americas, the Canadian company. And it's up 35% today, so that's going to be on the mind. Crypto's on the mind, ETH back over 4,000. Obviously, Nvidia some all-time highs as well. And the boys already mentioned Tesla, that 440 the mid 440 has been a bit of a trouble. But yeah, a lot to get to. Kind of happy that Boston won because I don't want to face the Yankees, but you know, you got to win got to beat whoever's in front of you. But
beat whoever's in front
I still rather face Boston.
Yeah, that's a good start so far for us. You know, a good competitive game there. They loaded the bases in the ninth inning with no outs and could not score. Nvidia down 0.8 right now. We'll look to see some DraftKings, DKNG, as that will be hopefully back to the upside. I don't know. We'll have to see what winds up happening there with DraftKings. And there's another story of getting out when it's appropriate. And there goes the downside with, as Kalshi, we talked about the betting markets, start offering parlays a couple of nights ago, which is definitely a downside play right there. We were talking about yesterday, like all these most recent IPOs have just gone by the wayside now. StubHub down to $16. Klarna broke. I don't know. The consumer's not very strong. Klarna breaks lower as well. I mean, down to $36, where that one opened up as. And then AFRM continues to be, and the reason why I'm bringing up all these consumers, that if the shutdown continues to go, there will be a little bit lack of money out there, not getting paid, and hopefully it doesn't last 11 days, but there's Affirm right here, $92 down to $73. As, yeah, man, I mean, if you're buying stuff now and paying later, if you can't pay later, but you already bought now, that sounds like a default to me. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening here with Affirm. I'm a little nervous about that stock as well. I think it can go a lot lower. And yesterday we saw names like SoFi really hit the rails as well, back down to the downside. We'll see if that can battle back today, which it looks like it's trying to do right now. Then Robinhood continued. I don't know what it's doing today, but yeah, 141. So still holding near those highs as well. So yeah, man, all good over here. We'll just wait to see if Nvidia wants to go. What a great trade that was yesterday. Yesterday, of course, we were 3 for 3. Fantastic. I think Obi was 2 for 2. We'll see if we can keep it going again here today. Lots of stuff good. Yeah, I think you're right, Hamster. I don't think DraftKings has found a bottom.
Doesn't look like it.
Netflix 11. So I just saw someone say something about Netflix. What's up, Tola? Yeah, Netflix down as well. Wow, there it continues. Yo, what's up, Randy? That continues to go to the downside. We're having problems with Unity over there, by the way. So I don't know if there's if you're supervising tech support or if we have tech support. No, we don't. Yeah, well, I know we don't, but it would be nice to get Andre some right now. But all right, yeah, Netflix down another 2.5% here and still going lower. So,
well, speaking of down, Reddit.
Yeah, I saw someone just say that.
Reddit down 11%.
What's up with that?
This morning. I didn't see a particular story on Reddit. Let me double check here. I mean, yeah, I don't see a particular story here on Reddit for them to be down 11%, but that's another name that doesn't look like it's found a bottom since pulling back off of its highs. Keep our ear to the ground here, because, I mean, double digits on Reddit that's a lot, and there's got to be some kind of an angle here. But, yeah, let's be real. The stock has been in pullback for quite some time. I had a bad day yesterday, and there's really only a couple of updates in the last couple of weeks here for Reddit, as it's trying to find some kind of a base of action. Maybe it does want that 200 period. Lost to 50, now working on the 2. When it's SSR, it's going to be over 10% down. A stock like Reddit, it's going to be on watch here. Maybe the 200 level. It's already, kind of already bounced off 200. Yeah, so it's weird. Like, there's a few names that are moving around a heck of a lot the last couple of days to the downside. Meanwhile, you have like Nvidia making all-time highs, and the market shrugging off, for now at least, shrugging off this government shutdown. Let's go back to the desk. Lots to discuss.
Yeah, I was just reading through that note on Reddit as you guys were talking about it. To the downside in a pretty big way here for Reddit, trying to bounce right now off $200. There's really not much. I mean, there was a couple of notes being passed around suggesting that it was a traffic issue on the actual website, but nothing significant as of yet for RDDT.
I don't have anything yet, Brendo. No, I'm not getting anything on my blotter. Just seeing that 200 touch and pop into 205, but I'm not seeing quite anything yet. Are you getting that on social media?
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting it on my blotter here quite yet.
Yeah, nothing. We'll keep an eye out for anything substantial on that. But I want to go back to Nike here just real quick, getting back to session highs. The majority of this move coming after the close yesterday, not much follow through or volume at this point for Nike. I mean, a lot of highlights we can, kind of pinpoint. as you mentioned off the top there, the D2C side of things looking like it's better than expected.
Yeah, absolutely, Brendo. I mean, look, they wanted to get back into wholesale. We saw them really kind of reignite the relationship with Dick's Sporting Goods, Foot Locker. They want that three-wall look where you can go in and see all the products that they have to offer, because they really haven't been doing aggressive online advertising. So you're seeing wholesale. That's the Dick's Sporting Goods, Foot Locker side of things. That rose 7%. Year over year on the quarter, up to 6.8 billion. Their direct to consumer, which had been the focus of the prior CEO, down 4% now to $4.5 billion. When you're looking at it geographically, North American sales were good, 4% year over year. Brendo, China still is an issue for Nike. The consumer, they're not spending. Sales are down 9% in that country. They beat on the top and bottom line. Obviously, we'll go more into it. And they, as you mentioned, they're partnering with Skims, with Kim Kardashian's. So Nike Skims, they're calling it, which is seen as an early, a strong early consumer response for that segment.
Yeah, some of the other retailers catching a little bit of a bid here this morning. I was just looking at Dick's Sporting Goods up as well. You mentioned the tie up there, but rallied into the close ahead of the report last night, gapping up a little bit here, guys. But good to see here, anyways, for Nike.
We'll try to leave the puns out of it here for Dick's Sporting Goods.
Are we just talking about Dick's Sporting Goods? Why? What's going on with that?
No, it's nothing really going on with Dick's Sporting Goods. But it looks like, and thank you, Brendan, I know you were just mentioning that story for Reddit there. For anyone that didn't see it, like traffic potentially lower. ChatGPT search traffic potentially a little bit lower there for Reddit, so not looking very good. And if you're looking at retail today, all eyes on Nike. It's certainly surprising the street a little bit here, up 5 points. I would love for this to have broken out 76, but it hasn't really happened yet on Nike. But we talked about this on Monday, how the bottom was already in for Nike before they turned things around, or at least appear to be turning some things around, like what's going on with Skims as well. So it's a little different from Lululemon in terms of you're not catching any kind of a falling knife. The only annoying thing is, after earnings, if you're trading inside of the prescribed range, I'm just not usually a fan of that at all. And the last 2 weeks, you've had a 70 to 74 range in here, and it hasn't broken the top, and we're going to hold a low, which is good. So diddling in the middle, unfortunately, for Nike. But when this breaks out 76, I think that gets a little bit more exciting. You like to start things off with a bit of a surprise. Even though you did have a bigger impact from tariffs than were expected, ultimately it didn't end up mattering that much to the top and bottom lines, which they were able to beat. So, good look there. Same-store sales, a big surprise as well for Nike. Just no real breakthrough on the chart, unfortunately. So I might have to wait for a swing. I mean, it's different. You're holding a 200 period, you can swing it, but after that 3-day rule. But for a day trade, if it's not breaking 76, kind of boring.
Yeah, we were looking at that yesterday. We were hoping that would get through that 80 level, and 76 would be even better, of course. Amazon in trouble if retail is in trouble, but that's not what I was talking about. I want to go to Target. Yesterday we got that report, that potential leverage buyout, or someone was interested, maybe that was on Fox News. It really spiked up, man. That was a great trade to be able to take that one. Both Obi and I sat here and watched it happen. It did fade back out a little bit. This name going to be in watch. Target could be something, a dividend aristocrat. Been absolutely killed here. On new management, maybe they might need an activist to come in here. Like Target, absolutely just.
Yes.
I mean, most stocks. Where's April? There's the April low, right? Like, we're just at the April low now. You go back, you see the way Walmart's performing, you see the way all these other guys are performing. It's just Target needs to get its act together and get that figured out. So I don't know enough about it, other than like my family loves shopping at Target, and then. Man, finally, it looks like we made some good choices here by selling some Intel up there near 36 bucks, and now that's pulled back again into 33. We'll watch to see if this does anything at any point here today. Bouncing off $32 is Intel, so we'll wait to see if that's going to be a key level on this gap fill right into here. So we'll see if it gets back to 32. But again, sold some at 30, sold some at 36, 35.80, and now we'll wait to see what winds up happening now with Intel. And then a lot of talk about BigBear AI by some of you guys there in the chat. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I talked about this with Brian as well. And it's just, I think if you're going to start a position, you might as well do it. I mean, at the 50-period moving average, so that's right here. So, something to go right there, $6 and change. Grab that. 650 is not the end of the world. And as we come back in, I think we like that. But remember, it's November 8th or November 4th is the earnings report for them. So they're not even making any money. So you got to watch out for BigBear AI. Uber, also another interesting name here as that stays under the $100 mark. I want to see what this is doing as they've gotten pressure lately, obviously from Waymo, from Zoox, and just from the robo-taxi talk as well. And that looks like a pretty nice high there, just off 100. So that may turn around. So I just think with this government shutdown looming, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for these stocks to come back in, but it doesn't necessarily mean this is a bad thing. I think there's a lot of money on the sidelines willing to buy these dips. So these are a couple names looking to get done there. And then, yeah, Reddit, that's a big problem, man. I mean, as long as if their data is not getting pulled from these large language models, it's a hit to revenue, man. So we'll have to wait to see if that's true. I guess someone put in the chat or whatever, from 15% down to 5% usage with Reddit. So that's
a huge
problem. I mean, this thing was just 280, right? Like down to 206. Like you're already down there. That's $80 on 300 basically. So you're already down like 20 something percent on this name here. So that Reddit's in bear territory. And we loved Reddit, but are we now time to forget it? I think it's a big boon there with AI. I still really like Reddit, and I think that it is an opportunity to get in if it does continue. I mean, it's a little, that's why we've been raising some cash over the last couple of days, right? We've been talking about some things that we've been selling. So, Eli Lilly, I don't know if you saw Pfizer.
Yeah, I saw Pfizer.
Yeah, Eli Lilly, wow, this stock is Rip City, I think. And then Pfizer yesterday as well, man. Finally starting to, is it down today? I thought it was 26. No,
it's
okay, it was
flat.
20, yeah,
it's a slightly.
Yeah, nice move. Got that Pharma RX, Trump RX there yesterday. So making everything more affordable right there. And then Bitcoin today, obviously ripping, as people, gold's up 1%, Bitcoin's up 2%. So there are things that are getting going here a little bit. And we sort of mentioned, I mentioned to Ramin to pick up some IBIT, so I know she did that down lower than obviously these prices right here. I think dip buys in Bitcoin is good. So we'll.
I like ETH today more for a trade, but that's because it just moves more. I'd feel more comfortable. I mean, Bitcoin's definitely more stable. In the shutdown, I think that's a better dip buy. But for a trade today, I mean, ETH up 3 points doesn't really matter because it's not it's a 24-hour market. But sometimes gaps stand out. Like when this gapped away from 4,000 and that 32 level here, like look at the down day that it had following. So it's gapping up. I'm just looking for the opposite of this to the upside now that we've gapped away from 32. So as long as we hold 32, I like this one. We got a super chat in here, so I want to make sure we get to that. We got Craig. What up, Craig? Craig from Friday.
Yep.
You're not Craig from Friday.
I don't think so. Well, it could be.
But CJet has got cooked this year, but with the COO switch and the crypto treasury plan in the works, any input on the stock, as it is down 93% year to date. Don't like anything down 93% year to date. I think we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of questions about like penny stocks and small cappers off bottoms, right? And what I usually say is, as this one is rallying, no one ever went broke taking profit. That being said, when I was a penny stock trader, these were usually pretty good for a day or two. When you have a capitulation bottom and it starts making some higher lows, like obviously watch out for like 50 cents, and then the dollar level looks like it'll probably be a really big deal for this stock. But yeah, it's gonna do 1 billion shares in volume today. So volume's fantastic on CJet, and one of the rules I like is, can you hold on to the volume weighted average price? You've already broken out the high. Like there's a lot going on here. Is it an investment? I don't know. And typically not the way that I would play. But for a day trade, as I said, this is going to do 1 billion shares today, very likely. And it's above the volume weighted average price, and it's already been able to break out the highs early. So you hold on to 35 and some good things can happen. I'm gonna have it on the radar because it's gonna be the biggest volume stock in the market today.
Morgan Stanley just popping up in front of me here this morning had a little bit of a move early on, but just went out to a daily chart. What a move these banks have had right across the board. Fed lowering Morgan Stanley's capital buffer to 4.3%. That was earlier, giving the bank a little more flexibility for dividends and buybacks going forward. If you zoom in a little bit, you'll see what I was mentioning there. Not a lot of volume. We got up to 160 on that after the close yesterday. I mean, it's been in a tight range, but I mean, if you zoom out on any of these stocks,
yeah,
I mean, they all look the same at this point.
And they're fantastic, Brendo. The XLF, anyway, a name that I'm involved in, the ETF, the bank ETF, essentially trading right around all-time highs. And personally, I expect more going into the year. And the reason I feel that way is the Trump administration has made their intentions very clear that they intend to push a deregulation sort of agenda with these banks going into the fall. I know we're in the fall. And basically in the second to late half of this year, I expect to see a little bit better, Brendo, maybe even going into next year, good strength for these names.
Even if we do start to see, you know, more and more rate decreases and rates continue to come down again, you know, we start to see a little more activity in the housing market, the lending market comes back to life a little bit, should benefit as well.
That's the good side of the equation, right? The other side, what I was reading about Wells Fargo the other day, is their net interest income starts shrinking, Brendo. So as rates come down, they don't make as much money by loaning out products. So that is net interest income and net interest margins are in focus, but that's one headwind. I think the tailwind that comes with a deregulatory push, especially with how much they have to hold in assets, et cetera, and all the different restrictions that they have on investment, that could help a little bit more.
I mentioned early on, it's Wednesday, obviously we're going to get energy data coming up at 10:30 this morning. Occidental downside a little bit here after a big pop after the close yesterday. Wall Street Journal, first to report here, Berkshire, near a $10 billion deal for the company's petrochemical unit. Berkshire's obviously been heavily involved in Oxy for a long, long time. It's been stuck in a range along with oil on this pullback, really. I mean, if you look at crude itself, we're still in a bit of a drawdown. But, I mean, the stock holding nicely.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of the ones, Brenda, where I don't know. I feel like he hasn't done as well on this. He was buying at 55, and then he started buying at 50. Now we're trading in the 40s. But it's a name, as you mentioned, he's been involved with for a while. Recall back in 2022, he acquired Allegheny for $13 billion. And he's also really known for avoiding overpaying for acquisitions, Brenda. So maybe he likes it at this level, especially, you know, since it's not at all-time highs.
Yeah, I mean, 45, I guess, if you zoom out here, it touched it twice going back to the beginning of the year before we had that big move down. And then we've been grinding back to the upside here for quite some time. Not an exciting trade, guys, but good to see oil back in play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, Oxy might not be exciting, but I don't know. We like up channels, should like an upward channel. Always going to be more bullish in a general sense. So if you happen to like a bullish channel, great. The other thing which sometimes, which I find cool about Oxy, is the potential for a break of this channel after you just had the death cross, right? You had the 200 period cross downside the 50, and that's for a lot of people a short signal. So in a chart, if it breaks out after flashing a short signal, I'd like the breakout even better, because I think you've got a lot of people in some kind of a technical short, which they probably would have taken, and now you get a bit of a positive headline there. Before we get to Joe, and we're going to go to Joe in a quick second. We had a super chat there. Oh, thank you very much. Adani Zimbabwe, there we go, sent a gift membership. We appreciate you. And Christopher Mulligan, good morning to you as well. Do we want the Red Sox or the Yankees? Let's go Blue Jays. I would rather play the Red Sox. The Yankees lineup it's a little bit intense. I'd rather play the Red Sox personally, but you know, you got to beat whoever's out in front of you regardless, and they're both good teams. So either way, I'll be cheering on Saturday and Sunday, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's it's a 5-game series, right? The second round.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that's good. So we'll be cheering for them. Yeah, on Saturday it should be a lot of fun in and around the city. All right, Joe, what do you got?
Kill him with kindness. All right, guys, let's see what we got going on this morning. Happy Wednesday, by the way. Upgrades and downgrades. All right, let's take a look at what we have on the top of the list. And then we're going to start off with the Bank of California, getting the nod by JPM, going from a neutral to overweight. That price target has been lifted to $20. Now, as for Carvana, Jefferies Financial, going from a hold to a buy, also lifting that price target to $485. Now, SkyWest Incorporated, Raymond James Financials, going from an outperform to a strong buy. No specific target on that name there, guys. Now for Victoria's Secret, tells the advisory group, raising that target to $29. Now on the downgrades, we have Alexandria Real Estate Group by BNP, getting that going from a neutral to an underperform. No specific target on that one. DraftKings also getting the downgrade here as well, guys, from outperform to underperform by Northland Capital, lowering that target to $34. Now, as for Marvell, TD Cowen going from a buy to hold, and that target has been lowered to $85. Now, as for NeoVolta, Maxim Group going from a buy to a hold as well, and no specific target. That's our upgrades and downgrades. Now, let's take a look at what we have from some options activity. All right, guys, at the top of the list, we have CoreWeave here. That's going to be this week's expiration. We're still sitting around 19,500 current open contracts, but 57,000 contracts were traded at that $140 strike price. And then we also had the likes of Nike reporting last night. The open interest at that $80 strike price is sitting around 12,200, and then the volume is around 12,900. And one thing that I found interesting about it, this is slightly out of the money as well too, guys, so keep that in mind. Palantir sitting with 31,000 contracts open at that 182 strike, and then volume around 25,900. All right, so keep an eye out on some of those levels. That's going to be the highest concentrations, whether they're at the money, out the money, or in the money. All right, now let's take a look at some of the put activity. I found a couple of these to be interesting, more or less Ethereum, but let's start with Pfizer. That open interest at that $24 strike price really caught my eye, and it also came out on the scanner. But we had 9,200 contracts already closed at that $24 strike price. Now for Ethereum, these were out the money. Sorry, these were in the money. So I'm looking at the open interest as a potential base and a put wall, considering it was the largest amount of open interest on both the call and the put side. So look for a potential floor there on Ethereum. We are trading north of that right now. The volume relatively light with only 1,000 contracts. Now for Amazon, the open interest at that 220 strike is around 10,400, and with the volume being 15,100, and that's all this week's expiration, guys.
Thank you, Joe. And on Palantir in particular, the 182 half that you were mentioning there, Joe, that's been a little something. Like every time we've traded above it, it's rejected 85 and essentially ended lower, with the exception of over here in the 19th. But most other times you're getting false breaks above 182 half, rejecting 185, and then back down underneath. That's a pattern worth watching. For sure. Like if you get a breakout, it's been able to sustain for a couple of dollars, but once it fails 185, you're ending up back underneath that 182.5. So got to have that on the radar. I had written down like 177 support for Palantir, but I'm going to throw in like a 182.50. If it false breaks the open, look for a bit of a fade play on PLTR. So good level there on Palantir at least.
I like some of those crypto plays today. So, crypto's been a nice little upside. I know you had IBIT written there. We'll watch out for the 200 period moving average around 65.70. We'll see what that does. I don't want to sit there and hit it in case the whole market goes for a little bit of a dump right there off the open, but I think this is a decent area to see what happens. And then yesterday's closing price of 65 for IBIT. So if that does come in, and then Joe was highlighting also Ethereum, obviously that's up a little bit more than that 2% there of Bitcoin. Right now up 3%. So yeah, same kind of thing. That's $32 there for the level on Ethereum, and then maybe $31.50 where we closed yesterday. Yesterday was a banger day, guys. We'll see if we can do something today. I'm not getting near the feels today of anything similar to yesterday. So I don't know. I'm not even like all I have written down on here is Bitcoin. So I'm gonna try to wait and see if something develops and if I can come up with something. I've asked some of you guys here on Twitter what we want to trade today, and there's been some pretty decent responses. There was a big one here. I also just commented there on Reddit. The government reopened JD, SPY, Nvidia, caps there. MSTR, BMNR, BREA, UCFI, says Mike P. DeRider as well. So yeah, all worth looking at. And get over there, let me know which ones you guys are looking at, and what some plays may be. I mean, yesterday I don't want to give anything back today if we don't see any A+ sort of setups here today. So that's what we're going to be doing, looking for the best opportunities. And right now, slim pickings for me. So let me know if there's anything in the chat that you guys are looking at. All right, 9 o'clock, man. We can, go.
Let's go to a super chat here. Donnie Zimbabwe. Hey, you guys, you have options on SOUN, strike, 15 calls. Picked them, just getting SUN up here. Picked them up yesterday, wondering if it's worth holding on to any longer based on what y'all seen with the ticker. Ooh, I like that. That's good looking. If you immediately can eyeball an upward trend, that's usually a good sign. And I don't even need to, but I'm going to anyways because I always like the look of like an upward channel. I don't know. I could probably draw that a little bit better. You can connect it like that. It should be something like this. But it doesn't really make a difference. Like, it's got a nice upward trend. That said, there's another like higher low trend that it seems to be putting in. If you like it up here, usually when I see something like that, I mean, buying a little bit closer because you're out to me is underneath 13 or 12. So then closer to 14 would make sense in this kind of a channel. But as long as it keeps on putting in these higher lows and higher highs, every single dip till something proven otherwise, you play back into the highs. So I like the long in a setup like this. It's just that the trend line support's a little bit lower, but that's my first look at SOUN there. I was actually also just checking out BE. I didn't realize what Bloom did yesterday. Bloom went nuts yesterday.
Yeah, someone asked about that one.
That was what? That was in the middle of the day too, at 1 o'clock. I got to check to see what happened here with Bloom.
The story. Someone super chatted about that.
That went Bloom. Let's put it that.
Yeah, it bloomed up.
That kid was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You had to be like, that was like probably one of the first.
My house is on fire.
That was like early in like meme videos. That kid's probably in like, he's a grown man probably right now.
Oh yeah, it's probably at least 20 years old. There was like remixes of that kid.
Then I opened the door.
Yeah, and
it said Bloom.
My house is on fire. Yeah, that's a funny one. Maybe we can find that and show it to you guys because everyone's like, what the hell are these guys talking about? All right, let's go back over the desk. We're going to talk about our watch list, which has a lot on it today. I'm struggling to find key stories to trade with, so we're going to listen very carefully to the watch list and see if we can come up with something.
67.39, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. So we close above 6,700 again, but we're fighting with that level as a result of the overnight drop because of the U.S. government shutdown. So we did defend 66.80. So it's right around that 66.75 area of support that we were speaking about yesterday. We're going to look to yesterday's resistance area or the overnight high, which is 67.33. We're looking at that 33-point area as resistance, Brendo.
All right, let's go. Lots to understand here this morning. If you haven't done so yet, grab the watch list. It's free. Link is in the description. All you need is your email address. Comes right to your inbox every single morning. Has all you need to know on it in the pre-market every single day. Nike, top of that list this morning. We're trying to test 73 right now, once again, for the second or third time here since the announcement after the close yesterday. I mean, this is one of many to deal with this morning, the Skims announcements with Kim K. But nice beat here for Nike.
It is. It's a beat on the top and bottom line, Brendo. EPS coming in at 49 pennies, well ahead of the 27 expected on revenue of 11.72 billion. Again, well ahead of the 11 expected by the street. Net income, though, a bit of a negative point here. Net income fell 31% year over year, down to 727 million, as profits were pressured by higher costs and clearance sales. Gross margins contracted contracted 3.2%, and sales did rise about 1% year over year. Let's talk about the guidance now. Q2 sales to fall low single digits, says Nike. That's bad. The good here is there's a good FX tailwind, adding about 1 percentage point to sales. Tariffs do remain a major headwind, with Nike now projecting about $1.5 billion in costs for the full year as a result of tariffs, or about 1.2% for gross margins. Let's talk about how they did geographically. North American sales were up 4%, but Chinese sales continue to struggle, down 9%. Now, with respect to their different segments, as we spoke about at the top of the show, wholesale continues to rise. That's basically selling to resellers like Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker, 7% year over year, while their direct-to-consumer segment took a hit, down 4%. And as Brendo mentioned, partnerships here with Nike are key. They launched Nike Skims with Kim Kardashian, seen as a strong early consumer response to this product line, Brendo.
This might be the challenge, though. If you zoom out on Nike's chart, we're right back into some significant levels here. A bit of chop, guys, middle of the range for Nike. What do we do?
You know what, though? Chop is better than breaking down. So, like, I think that's what I'm taking from this. Like, you have a year over year, most of the numbers aren't looking pretty good, especially profitability, but they did surprise with sales not declining. They expected sales to decline. They expected the guidance would be poor. They've talked about the tariff issues, and those end up being a little bit bigger than expected. But all in all, they were still able to raise revenue, which was a surprise. So, seems like a bit of a bottom is in. Just unfortunately, there hasn't been enough juice to get it through. Like, it needs to break 76. Like, I was kind of eyeballing, like here to there. Like, if you could break 76, there'd be room to 80, and that would be good enough. It can't even get there. They're actually failing off 73 as we speak. I don't know if I'm going to find a trade in this today. Maybe this could be a 3-day rule thing. Maybe we're looking at this tomorrow or at the end of the week, and then it'll be like a breakout after earnings. But for today, diddling in the middle. So unless we get a chance at that 76, I think I'll be sitting Nike out. Give it a few days. If it can hold on to the 200 period for a couple of days here, even on an inside, that would be a very positive sign. Especially with, obviously we have the government shutdown, could be weighing on the markets as well. But you just want this thing to settle. If it can hold 70, that's good, but needed to break 76 to get me excited.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to trade earnings really the day of, but, what's been doing pretty well. And, again, we bought some before. It's the same as Marvell. Like, we buy some before and then we buy some after. And now Lululemon is, well on its way back higher here. So we'll wait to see if it can take out. I mean, again, just because it's Nike, it's athletic apparel, it's clothing. What about this 181 or so here on Lululemon? Like, if we can break right above there somewhere, maybe it's just 180 actually on Lulu. So we can see if that's going to be a break level or not. Here's a 30-minute chart. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be 180 flat. So what about that? I mean, Lululemon breaking 180 there could be a trade for today, and then maybe hold it for a little bit of a swing opportunity there as we extend through on this play. So I think I like Lululemon better than Nike today on that 180 break. I mean, we were sort of cruising yesterday, and then we stopped. Like, that's why I was wondering. So it is. Okay, so yesterday morning it was about 180, 80 there. Came back in, tried to get going again, stopped, back in, back down. And now we'll just wait to see, like, if Nike's going to be up a couple percentage points, we'll see what winds up happening with Lululemon. So, plus we have jobs. Like, yeah, some of these jobs numbers aren't going to, this has nothing to do with Lululemon, but we'll have to wait to Friday, because if this government shutdown looms, we might not get some of this data, which will then hinder the opportunity to lower rates a little bit. So we'll wait to see. But yeah, Nike, I'm not huge into retail space right now. I don't love it, but now up 5%. Sorry, I thought it was only up 3%. So, yeah, it's working out. I'd give it a couple seconds, but I like the Lululemon trade of 180 better. So if it breaks that, then I think we'll try that long.
Oh, man. All right. LAC, back to highs here. I zoomed out to a daily chart. We're way up here this morning. And once again, on this note, the U.S. government has, in fact, indeed, if you missed it yet, so far this morning, taken a 5% stake in the, as Sharif and I were just discussing, majority Canadian-owned company.
It is, yes, and that's causing a little stir over here, Brendo. I'll leave that part out. No, but U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright announced that U.S. government will take an equity stake in the company, as Brendo mentioned. The Department of Energy plans to acquire a 5% stake in Lithium Americas and a 5% stake in its Thacker Pass project, which is in Nevada. More on that in a second. The Thacker Pass project is set to become one of the largest lithium sources in North America, with operations targeted to begin in late 27. General Motors, for their part, they own part of that as well. They have a minority stake in the project, but they also have a requirement to buy lithium from LAC, even if they don't need it. So that helps guarantee the source of revenue for LAC. Wright emphasized the government will own the mine itself and the corporate entity. This is the first time, the first direct U.S. government stake in a Canadian company tied to critical minerals, really highlighting the importance of the supply chain. And Wright noted as well, Brendo, the Department of Energy is also providing large amounts of debt capital to LAC to keep them afloat.
Through the highs right now, if you zoom out to a daily chart, but we still have a little ways to go here to 807, 810-ish, I guess, guys, would be a breakout for LAC once again.
Like, so far, so good with LAC here, because the last time it gapped up on, well, it was this news. We just didn't know the specifics of the specifics of what the stake would be, and now we do, right? It's going to be 5%, and then 5% directly in that Thacker mining project. So it's good to know this, but it rejected, and we know, like, this was really, really clean on the 25th. Like, it dipped into the prior high, and it topped out right around that 740 area. And then the next day, 740 was again a problem. So resistance turning into support. If you lose that support, I got 630 to 650 as the dip buy zone. But as long as we hold on to this 740, I'm looking longs off of the open. It's underneath VWAP, so usually I want to see it test that low and hold, or wait for it to hold on the volume-weighted average price in LAC. But I'm favoring the long side today. Got to hold on to that big 740 level for sure to get some continuation. And don't be surprised, like on that day where it gapped up, it pulled into the prior high. Like that was the whole move. You got 640 to 740, and it never did anything more than that. And the next day it was 740 to 640. So it was like $1 range for 2 days in a row. The stock doesn't have to do like open door, moving $5 at a time. And as a matter of fact, I've noticed it's kind of the opposite. Like you get good range trading, but you don't necessarily get that double up in a day kind of thing.
Yeah, so I actually have LAC written down on here, and I have it for $8.20 break. So I was just looking here sort of at the pre-market that just a little bit longer charts there. We do have some wicked up there into 820s or so. We did make 820 in and around there 4 o'clock yesterday. So just looking to see if we can break that. It is going to be idea number 2 on here for today. Maybe $8 is a better spot, but I'm just going to put on there that if it breaks 820, then you can use $8 as your stop. So that for me is a little bit more interesting. Like you take a big amount of shares there, maybe at a break of, like I just said, as a break of 820, and then if it comes back in and breaks $8, then it's 20 cents worth of risk for potentially a large upside move, right? I mean, we saw on day 1, day 2 extension there on the first tranche of buying from the U.S. government. Now you get the Department of Energy coming in there and unlocking some of that project, the JWN or whatever that project is called there. So we have to watch out for LAC. I think it's a big one today, and I think it continues to run here with tons of volume, 19 million shares. This is definitely going out for me here. So I'm going to be looking at this. And as I said, it's on here, just trying to figure out some more plays. But I like LAC today, breaking those highs of $8 and getting through that 820. So I'm going to wait for 820 to break, put my order in to buy like 821s, hopefully get like 825s or something, and then we can use a 25-cent risk. So again, if you're using 1,000 shares, it's $200 worth of risk. I think it's worth it minus slippage. Let's give it 250. I like the trade on LAC today, breaking 820 and using 8 as some kind of support. VWAP is right here right now. So 770, worst case scenario, breaks up and you hold it back to 770. So I think this is a trade that we need to look at Again, and USAR, is that the other one there? US Rare Metals is another place to look here, because as I keep on making these investments, what's next, right? I mean, nice dip buy opportunities. We had talked about this with Steve Tileman on Friday. Looked like a good opportunity. It's come back in since those days, but it's only 1750, so we can wait to see what happens with USAR, another play in the space that I think could wind up working out.
All right, let's go on to crypto. I was just reading a note on some of the ETF inflows for Ethereum, actually higher this week once again than the Bitcoin side of things. But let's focus on this. Here's the daily chart on the left. BTC, 3 out of 4 days straight to the upside once again. 117.5, bit of a sticking point over the past couple of months here. IBIT on the right. Looking pretty good here so far today.
Not too bad at all, Brendo. Instead of a correction with the crypto market, we get a nice rally here with the crypto market rallying nicely. Total digital asset values for the crypto market rose 3.2%, just shy of $4.1 trillion just in 24 hours. Bitcoin, as you know, surged 3.2%, but altcoins also gained. Doge, Solana, Ethereum, all leading the daily movers. But Bitcoin's dominance should be noted here, increasing from 57 to 59%, signaling that this latest rally is really led by Bitcoin. Analysts highlighted that 3 of the past 5 U.S. shutdowns coincided with Bitcoin rallies, suggesting a recurring pattern. I don't personally know that to be accurate myself, just the article that wrote that. And 2 liquidity clusters, Brendo, specifically with Bitcoin, are being flagged. One as a support level, they're saying between 107 to 108,000. There's $8 billion in long liquidations possible at that level. To the same, by the same token, I should say, there's about $7 billion in short positions between 118 to 119,000 that could be liquidated if a breakout triggers there. So 2 zones to be aware of.
Yeah, holding on to 66.20, 66.25 right now for IBIT, mirroring the one on the left there, guys. What do we do here today with Bitcoin?
Yeah, I like ETH today a little bit, but you can pick your poison, I think, in this case. I mean, they do both look strong. It's just what I like about ETH is just the kind of liquidity grab under 4,000, and then now you're breaking away from a couple of days of consolidation on ETH. So, with it trying to hit this 43,000 move here, next stop 44 was a prior support. I'm going to look for ETHA as a play. And then the other reason, which I talked about earlier, was on ETHA, specifically the ETF. Like when last time you gapped away from this consolidative area, you gapped under and then had follow through to the downside. So I'm looking for the follow through to the upside this time. So 32 was your prior resistance. As long as we're over that, we're good to go on ETHA. That said, I mean, the pre-market low goes, then I wait for it to kind of hold on 32. As long as we hold the pre-market lows, then I'm looking for that VWAP after the open continuation play. So I'm looking long, specifically ETH, but I like crypto today.
All right, I'm oppo of that. I'm looking long specifically on IBIT, but we're both looking long, so we like that. And yeah, I was just going to say, like, moving this back into 65, yesterday's closing price, I think it's a little heated up right now, up to 16.5. But if the market does pull down, and this is what I'm writing down on my sticky note right now, it's going to be out in a second, and this is the top play and one of only a few plays. I don't have a good feel on what the market's going to do right now. Like, I'm not sure if the market wants to sell off today or not. So I'm just going to play what is definitely strong, using Bitcoin as an index, basically. I mean, this is leading the way here. Obviously, Ethereum's up more. But Bitcoin, you can trade it out like an ETF, gold is also blasting higher here today. So I just like the fact that the equity market, to me, is uncertain right now on what it wants to do. I mean, only down 0.4. We were up 0.4 yesterday. Like, it's not kind of a give or take here. So, gold has actually faded a little bit here this morning, down $2. When I looked at it earlier, it was up here. So nice little move now for gold back in. So maybe there's something there. I don't trade it enough. But I like IBIT. I think Bitcoin continues to work, especially if the shutdown goes a little bit longer. There might be some more devaluation of the US dollar, I don't know, potentially IBIT going higher on things like that. If gold continues to pull back, maybe money flows back into Bitcoin. Look, Bitcoin is still a depressed asset. I mean, everything else is at all-time highs. Bitcoin's still down 10%. It's back up now, but it was hovering down that 10% off of all-time highs, right? You made an all-time high of 125. and pull back to 108. So, you know, you did make that move back in, and now you're just playing catch up a little bit, taking out that 50-period moving average. So, yeah, I want to go long. So long Bitcoin at the 50 period, which is also 65 bucks. Yesterday's close. Let's see if it keeps on coming to the downside right now. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I know Bitcoin's not an asset, but more of an asset class of crypto maybe. It's just a matter of who you talk to. I mean, there's a lot of traders that will just hold Bitcoin instead of cash or instead of physical gold. And anyways, I just think it as a trading vehicle for today, this is a strong one, and I'm going to be trying to go long on IBIT. We may take this 200 period depending on if it hovers around it for a minute, but 65.85 right now could be one of my first plays, leading into 65. So let's wait to see what happens with IBIT, but it's a pretty good opportunity here, I think. So let's figure this out.
Let's go to Tesla. It's the beginning of the month, so we're expecting deliveries should be any second over the next couple of days, kind of thing. Tesla's known for monthly deliveries to just kind of drop out of nowhere and surprise everyone. Yes, so either today or tomorrow, we'll see when they actually come through. But here's how things shaped up yesterday. I mean, really, really strong buying into the close yesterday for Tesla shares. We're right back to those aftermarket levels right now. A couple of individual notes this morning, some analysts saying positive things. I mean, it's good to see European numbers as well stabilizing a little bit.
Yeah, that's really what I took from this, Brendo. The Europe issue, I don't know, you never really want to call it. It feels like it is bottoming though. So here's the deal. Tesla's September sales rose 2.7% in France and 20.5% in Denmark, really helped by strong demand for the revamped Model Y finally taking shape there. Registrations continued to climb in both Norway and Spain, with Norway seeing a 14.7% increase in sales, boosted by 60% growth in the Model Y. Yeah, it is really the Model Y here. Pardon me. There is still weakness, though. Sales did fall in Sweden for the 9th straight month. Tesla has been struggling in Europe, obviously, with an aging model lineup, as well as, you know, pressure from a Chinese EV, specifically BYD, who outsold Tesla in the EU for the second time this year. Some European consumers obviously are pushing back against Tesla due to Elon Musk's political affiliations, but the broader sales trend on the continent, not bad. January to August 2025, we had bottomed there, Brendo, 42.9% decline year over year for the 8 months, January to August. And then the last but not least, Model Y, as I mentioned, is really what's pushing this. Tesla expects the revamped Model Y, which began delivering in June on the continent, to lead the recovery for Europe.
Tough day, just real quick, tough day on for Amazon yesterday. We had a tight consolidation after the significant move down here. Just seeing a note, actually moving down further on this, but just seeing a note on Amazon Web Services specifically, teaming up with the NBA, just announcing a new multi-year partnership to power the league's next generation of innovation, as AWS will become official cloud and cloud AI partner for the NBA. But stock doesn't care.
Yeah, not necessarily moving the needle there, but deliveries can move the needle for Tesla. There's no question about that. And if you like Sharif's note, by the way, anybody can grab that new note. And I think it's a fantastic one. And you saw something in there, if you're looking very closely, at a couple of levels, 37 and 48. Now, 48 simply represents like the lower, like we broke 450 on Monday, and that was it was a false breakout. Like if you had it, look, if you took the breakout of that high at the open, you could have scalped something out, no question about it. But it was a false breakout through 450, but really when you look at these closes, that's about 448 resistance. And then the 444 level has been a big one in terms of every other day. It's stalled out at 444. So I'm thinking if we break out here and fail 448 again, I want the backside of that trade. So I'm looking for a false break on Tesla. If it false breaks, I want to short it on the way back through, and that support at 437 makes a heck of a lot of sense to look for, whether it's a target or try to get a reversion long on Tesla. Once we get the delivery numbers, I think all bets are off. I'm more interested in the continuation of the long trade, but for now, that false break that we saw already once in this area, if it does it again, I'm willing to kind of take it on the way back through for the short trade on Tesla, at least for today.
Amazon being down here, I heard that story a little bit right there. Look, I'm going to wait to see Amazon, see what it does at 215. I still think it breaks and gets into this 200 area right here, and this is definitely something that I want to buy. Like if Amazon's going to be down, again, to get into 200, it has to be down another 20 bucks from where we are right now, so another 10%. I don't know if that happens, but like if it does, this is going to be hopefully a decent level. Like if you can buy Amazon all the way back to where it was last year, this is the thing about these stocks, man. I mean, they're not hugely outperforming anything right now. Like like if this does get to 200 bucks, or even where it is right now, this just goes back to November 15th of last year. You know, nobody's selling at the top and buying at the bottoms. It's like hopefully you can buy at the bottoms of April. I mean, I know that was a good look for many stocks, but like Amazon right here, it's not the greatest look. I mean, you're all the way back, giving everything back of all of last year. Doesn't pay a dividend or anything like that. And I'm not picking on, I own a lot of Amazon. I just think that this is an area where it looks to potentially break and get into some more support. So we're gonna wait to see if Amazon can get back into this 2 bills area right now. And this kind of talk makes me think obviously a little bit more negative about Amazon. So I was thinking today, if 219 is too close right now to make a call, and I just put that out on my note. It's like right now, I'm not really sure what this market wants to do. I mean, I don't think it knows what it wants to do right now. So this could be a great short right into here for AMZN. So let's continue to look at that, this 219 area or so for a push down. It's just I wish I had more conviction like we did yesterday on the market. We absolutely had some fantastic, I mean, Obi put on some amazing trades yesterday. He had UiPath there for $2. I think he only took 2 trades maybe, and then he had an Amazon trade where he lost and then wound up getting back in, and I think took some out. So it was the UiPath, and then we had yesterday the TQs, and we had CoreWeave, and we had Nvidia. So we were 3 for 3, and we reloaded Nvidia multiple times there yesterday to absolutely just nail this one. And I don't have anything as much confidence as we did yesterday for today. So I mean, this was, you know, Nvidia yesterday, we bought it early on the 185 break, then we bought it again on that dip, then we bought it again on that dip. Multiple trades yesterday on Nvidia, and then CoreWeave, $4 or $5 was absolutely monstrous. So I'm not trying to throw back anything that we had done yesterday. So I'm gonna probably just wait and make sure that we do have a directional play here in the market, which right now it's trying to break lower. So, you know, the TQs or something like that, would be where I'm looking. Yesterday we marked down 103 as a short. This looks like 102.20 is where the 200 period moving average is, and it looks like we're trying to break back down below VWAP right now. So yeah, again, market reacts decently to these government shutdowns. It's not the be-all, end-all of anything right now. So this has been something that's been known about for weeks, that this government most likely was going to shut down. So the market's been, you know, going upside ever since. And, you know, today we get a little bit of a pullback. Let's just see if it lasts. But yeah, that's exactly what I want to do, Bonkzilla. Let's shuffle up and deal these cards, man, and see what winds up floating in for us. But yeah, Tesla not on my radar today.
All right, real quick, Ford popping up here. I mean, it's 10 cents, but it's Ford, so we'll take it. Electrified vehicle sales in Q3, 85,789 units. That's up 30% quarter over quarter. So not a bad number there, but again, 10-cent move for Ford, which is typical for Ford. Let's talk Peloton to wrap things up. Had a nice pop early on this morning. We're coming back in a little bit, 920 at least, trying to hold here. They're going to revamp everything?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, Brendo. And they're changing all the prices, of course, because now they want to make more money. So let's talk about this. So they're refreshing its entire product lineup for the first time since they launched, adding stronger audio, faster processors, upgrading the Wi-Fi, and yes, including new AI-powered features. The new cross-training series and Align they're releasing here emphasizes a mix of cardio and strength, yoga and meditation, aligning with the broader wellness push within society. All machines in the Plus line now include a 360 swivel screen, hands-free voice control, built-in tracking cameras for seamless transitions between workouts. And the CEO said the redesign aims to deliver more value and attract new members during the holiday season. Yes, of course, that's when they make over 60% of their revenue. Surprise, surprise there, Brendo. But they're raising, as I mentioned, both hardware and software or subscription prices to reflect the enhanced features. Just by way of example, the regular bike would have cost you $1,695. or is going to cost you that now. That's up from $1,145. So that's a big move there. And the subscription hikes, they're bumping that up to $49.99, up from $44. Last but not least, Brendo, they're really pushing the Pro series, which is a commercial series. It's one of their best performing segments, and it's a high margin product. We're talking about hotels, condos, etc. More rigorous build, I guess, and costs a lot more.
Makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It might not be anything, guys, today specifically, but Peloton coming back in a hurry here. Volume a little higher than usual.
A little extra vol, there's no question about that. That's not bad. It's breaking out on the daily chart, but look, I'm not a Peloton person, but those I know that have used it tend to love it. I think a revamp is a good idea for them. Maybe drum up some interest, and maybe someone sees them as a takeout candidate if they can keep trying to get things on the right track. So if it closes above $9 today, then you might have another extension higher, but it hasn't been that exciting of a stock recently. With only 90 seconds to go here, just quickly, LAC, 1.1 million buying balance. Pfizer, second day in a row, looking pretty good. 800,000 buying balance. Nike, 600,000 buying balance. Archer, with a sell of 550,000 shares. UiPath down here at 250. So none of the big names on here, but certainly LAC, despite the fact that it's pulling back into some support, has a big buying balance of 1.2 million shares. We're going to look for a long off the open there.
I don't know what I did to upset Amazon here, but yeah, there it goes, man. Now making moves lower. Obviously, the futures continue to go low. Get it, Neil. Obviously, as these continue to go lower, we'll have to wait to see, because Amazon right now getting a little bit of vol. It's not even that much volume, but decent move right here downside for AMZN. So we're going to have to watch out for that one. Just a quick look here on the imbalance locator to see if there's anything that's causing this. Maybe Amazon is a sell on here right now. So we'll sort this by size. LAC with the buy. That's had a dip as well. So we still have it as $8, waiting to see if that happens there. Nike as a buy, heading into the open with only 15 seconds left. And then we're looking at that Lululemon as well, maybe there, but make sure that you do scan that QR code. Support VinFast right now, the Global Intelligent Mobility Company, ticker VFS. We want to thank them for continuously sponsoring our show. We are now open, so let's go. All right, let's get this figured out. Nike upside. All right, I did want to look to see what IBIT was doing, and the Nasdaq. There it goes. Nasdaq making a move lower right now, and then stopping completely. So have to watch out for that one. LAC not doing too much. CoreWeave, Nvidia. Just like I said, today's a day for me to sit on my hands. I'm super happy if Nvidia goes up. That is for sure. My most recent, Mag 7 buy. But we'll wait to see what that's doing right now. Peloton with a dump as well, making lows right now, down to $9. Just broke, yeah, 885. So there it goes, all the way down here right now. I don't know why that chart is not filling that up, but it will after the first minute. So there goes Peloton. So far, me do nothing.
And LAC breaks that support right away, so it does not hold on to 740. So I guess I'm waiting for 630 to 650 as the next level down. So there's that support break. You needed to hold that at the open. It did not. Tesla, all right, Tesla made the break of 444, got up to 446. I'm looking for a failed break reversion. So if it can close underneath this prior day high, which is right in here, 445. Going to look for a continuation of the south side. So LAC dropping pretty heavily.
Yeah, Peloton dropping.
Wow, ETH is doing nothing. This happens sometimes at the open, where you don't see crypto do much of anything, because they don't care. It's a 24-hour market, so the open doesn't mean that much. But yeah, no action yet on ETH, so we'll have to be very patient with this. It's literally moved 2 cents in the first minute at the open. That's absolutely nothing. It's weird.
Yeah, no, weird one there. I'm going to take advantage of LAC here. Weird. Amazon made a move down to 216. That was a low tick there. Would have liked to have looked at that and tried to pick that one up. But LAC is bouncing right now off the 200 periods. I'm going to wait to see, does it break 200? $7.20. If it does, then we're going to try to go long on LAC, just because it's bouncing here. I just want to see, we did retrace back up into 720 and then fell off again. So we'll wait to see if that can hold this 200 period moving average. I don't necessarily want to buy sevens. Like, it could just break through it. I'd much rather see this name go the other way and get back to the high side. So we'll take that long, breaking above 720 with an out at 7. So that'll be the quick trade if we're able to do it. Hopefully we are. This is what I was saying about me not having that initial read. Like, sure, it goes down to VWAP and bounces, that's fine. But the market, like, did not expect this. Still pretty flat, right? I mean, we were looking at this when it was down 0.5. Now it's down 0.4. So not a big deal right now. We could look at Target here. So there's the move down. Maybe that was a false report there yesterday. And again, the market's rigged, so someone probably had to get out of one of their longs. So they do that right there. The name for me is just going to still be Amazon.
Someone poke ETH here.
Yeah, the crypto.
What a move in Amazon.
Yeah, well, yeah, that first flush. That's what I was saying. I don't know what was up with that. They're all the same. I mean, all these stocks right now, the market's at highs. So we do expect these names to start running. So maybe it's Nvidia that we just keep on going long. Like, if this one can hold support, maybe we start busting out on Nvidia. I don't know. But right now, not into anything, and we're going to have to wait to see if something develops because the future
I'm seeing in the chat some mentions about Carvana.
Okay.
Carvana was we had that on the upgrade downgrade list. I know that might have been a catalyst, up 4%. That's moving. And I'm just going to give you guys what's moving because I'm staring at paint dry over on Ethereum, which is no.
Been in anything.
Look,
Okay,
there's no chance ETH just sits here all day. It's just flat out bizarre. We had dip and rip all over the place, and I thought crypto would be hot today, at least active. I mean, one way or another. Someone just popped 200,000 on the bid of ETH at 48. Maybe that'll get it going. The longer it consolidates, sometimes that makes a breakout really good. So if it breaks out the local high after the first 5 minutes or so, I might as well just take that. As far as LAC goes, it just feels like a mean reversion is going to be in play, but it's just still dropping. So that 63.5 zone, I'm going to have to work out at some point. And I see Robinhood in the chat, people talking about the 140 level for Robinhood as a dip. This wasn't on my radar, Robinhood, and support was down to like 138 or so. So slight move down with the market looking strong. I'm just surprised crypto's not going up with it.
I'm going to, I don't want to try it that hard here, but I was going to try to go Nvidia long if it breaks above this 185.75, but then it just kind of fell back in again. So yeah, if anything, maybe the market's short right now. I'm not, again, like I wish I had, well, it's coming up to that 103. So that's a level that we talked about yesterday. So there could be something involved with that. We just got a wick high there of 102.60. I don't actually mind fading maybe the TQQs here just a little bit. So let's try that maybe. We'll go short now at 40s or whatever price I had. So 38s. First trade in right now. Just trying to go short the NASDAQ against that high, 102.60. So let's put that out right now. 102.66 or so high break. If that happens, we'll get stopped out of this trade. But so far, flat right now. So waiting to see if something can wind up happening. We'll get a little shorter if it comes back up into like this 55 area. But for now, just testing out this. I don't know. Let's just wait to see. I didn't think the market would be up today. So that little bit of a move, let's just wait to see what it winds up doing. So 24,800 right now. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe and give us some ideas there in the chat. Yeah, Carvana's only up 11,000% in the last 2 years, says Conrad. So shout out to Carvana shareholders who have been printing right there. I wonder if Nvidia is eventually going to go, but here goes the TQ's upside. There we go. We average into our short. We're in our very last position right now. I'm not going to be taking any more on this trade. We're in one right now on the TQs. If it breaks the high, it breaks the high. This is my first position. Let's wait to see what it winds up doing. We're short right now at 50s.
Yeah, I finally got into that Tesla. Like it rejected that breakout of 445, didn't get through 448. Came and retested 44, so I'm short that and giving it to 45 even on Tesla. But I want to remind everybody in the chat, if you're here for the first time, when you put a symbol in the chat for us to look at, make sure that you put $. There goes that 445. Yeah, we should have had that the first time through because it went like $4. Second time through, Tesla looks like it's absolutely charging higher. But make sure you put a $sign in front, everybody. So $, then the symbol. Thank you very much, everyone that's doing it. LAC just broke $7, continues to go to the downside.
Oh, damn.
If this is going to be a failed breakout, it has to maintain a lower high. So already broke down once. If it does it a second time, it's going to have to put in a topping tail wick on 446 on Tesla. Otherwise, it's just a blowout long. LAC is still falling. Lithium Americas, of course, getting a 5% stake. Oh, sorry. the U.S. government taking a 5% stake. They're not getting a stake. Taking a 5% stake. It's now making its first consolidation off 7. It's still above that $6.50 level, which is some prior support to resistance play. But until this breaks trend, going to have to let this one continue to fall. And ETH, still absolutely nothing happening on Ethereum. So just hold VWAP and actually break out. I want to be long ETH, but until it moves more than 2 or 3 cents, I have to sit and wait. Adara?
Eli Lilly here, LLY. This one really strong today. It was strong yesterday as well. The reason for this is likely because yesterday, President Donald Trump and his team suggested that the company is in talks with the administration with regards to their drug pricing. We know Pfizer announced a deal with the Trump administration with regards to drug pricing. They indicated that Eli Lilly could be the next up. So LLY, second straight day of upside here. And again, 9:45, just so you guys know, S&P manufacturing PMI we're expecting. 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing PMI. Back to you.
Thing we did was our initial TQ position got stopped out and we went back into it and we've taken a little bit of profit on the low side here, but it's still, I'm going to give it to 102.75 just to see if that one wants to wind up breaking. It's kind of that marker right into here. I mean, if you go upside, we can get into these levels, but it's too early and not confident enough for me to blow anything realistically on this. So we're going to start to just keep on. I mean, look, we're getting out. I mean, we just took another 52 there. So it's been okay. We're doing good on this stock right now, but we'll be flat on it with position pending. So we take a hit early, and then I was just like, you know what? I didn't give it enough room. So here it comes right back in for me now. We'll see if we can get some more low bids. There it is. We got a 42. Now I'm waiting for a 38 for some reason. And if we get that, then all good on the downside. There it is, man. We now turn green on the futures trade. But it's just one of those things, man. We have to wait to see what it wants to do. LAC right now, we just looked at that again. This is still dropping, yeah. I still have that 720 break long if that winds up happening. I'm not, obviously at this point, very uncertain, so that's going to be something that we're looking at right here. Who do you trade more like? I trade more like Neil. So I'm going to select Neil right there. And then we'll figure out what's going on. But nice vote there, poll there. Go get in there right now. All right, so here we go, man. TQQs. We're going to figure this out, but just got out a little bit more there. We're going to be patient, man, just like we were yesterday. And yesterday was a monster day. We'll see if we can replicate it today, but nothing happening. IBIT like 16.5, like come on, nothing moving. And Neil was just saying also in the crypto space, not much going on at all. So there we go, man. We'll get it all figured out. But IBIT, if it drops into 66, maybe.
Well, ETH is holding, and I said if it held VWAP, I was going to go long. So it's like, how many times does it have to hold at the open? This is going to be a ridiculously tight stop because of the nature of the trade, but it's holding the volume weighted average price at least every 3-minute candle so far. So I took 58s here, which was just a local breakout, and I'll give it underneath VWAP. That's going to be like 10 cents worth of risk. And if it plays into the high, great. We'll try to be long all day long. But LAC is taking it on the chin. I mean, absolutely getting smoked here. So now 680, it's headed right back into potentially this 650 area. So this is the area I'm looking for. Last time I failed around here, 740. You had some resistance at 650. I'm looking for resistance to turn some support here on LAC down around that level. So you have to be patient with it. I said if it lost 740, I'd look for the reversion at that 650 level, and that's exactly what I want to see. Tesla got up to the next level. So got to 448. Remember on Sharif's note, 448? We'll try it at 44. If it closes underneath 448, it could still be a technical fail breakout. But that's going to be key. Can it hold above that prior resistance level on Tesla? Delivery number's not out yet, but that's what we are waiting for at some point, beginning of the year, or sorry, beginning of this new month. But LAC, now 675, so it's in the range. It's 650 that I'm looking for a curl here on this stock. So now that it's getting close, I'm going to wait for the reversion, put in like, I'll use a 1-minute chart for this usually when it's starting to crater down like this, just so I can catch a bit of a turn. Want a volume bottoming tail candle or a break of the trend? More likely the former than the latter.
All right, what's up, Adam DeLuce? I'm glad you're with me on this one. We'll see if this market continues to go lower here. So we'll be able to see. But again, looking to get a little bit more if we're able to up and around that 102.60 area, just because I like the trade for now. So what else are you guys looking at over here? Eli Lilly, some people talking about. I'm not bidding anything right now until 27s. So down a little bit more here. We'll put some profit in our pocket right there, and there it goes. So hopefully if you're trading my style today, that you have some greens in your account. We got stopped out there at the high end of it, but now we've got this back in as it comes right back in. I'm still trying to get in this 102.20 area. That's where the 200 period moving average is. So just trying to get out a little bit in front of that, and then maybe we can crack and then get back into the lows, but also making sure that we're already out of half. So that was the other thing there. I just wanted to get into the green on this, and then try to hold to see if there was future moves coming back into the downside there. So NVDA is fading. Okay, thank you, David, for that note, which is great for me, because if the market fades out here, obviously we're short the NASDAQ. So any sort of a NVIDIA hate on this market would be good for my position. But, we're still waiting to get that bigger move. Thank you so much right there. What's up, Ryan Nola? What? Apple broke all-time highs. Are you kidding me right now? That is a amazing thing to have happen. I love this Apple trade. There it is. Yeah, 258. I'm not sure. Okay, here come the futures. Let's go. Give us that print. Yes, sir. That's what we're talking about right there. So hopefully that starts to hit again. But yeah, there's Apple. Nice call there, Ryan. Did not notice that one. This is another one that we had just recently bought. So we're really happy with the performance right there. But yeah, good little out there. We get that 27 fill. So that was a pretty good one for sure. So yeah, out of that. And good, you're now into LAC, so let's see what happens over there.
The Clippers over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I am still, I saw what happened yesterday on, I wasn't obviously here yesterday to be able to trade EA, but I'm still favoring a short. I just nibbled in to remind myself that I want to build a short in that position, but I'll get there in a quick little second. But LAC, I just called them the Clippers. I don't know why, because you did the other day.
Yeah.
But LAC finally making a bit of a trend break here. So there's a couple of lower highs. I threw a 1 minute chart up instead of my 3. Next out's going to be 7, and then the volume weighted average price. As long as this is holding underneath 740, like that prior support, then any bounce play to me is to that 740. So I got a prior bar low on this one, which is the actual low of the day. That makes it really easy. Low of the day, 670. We'll be out if it breaks 670. And yeah, just sort of move on to the next, which hopefully is this can continue a little bit higher. We had some economic numbers, so let's go to Adara. It's 945.
Yeah, we've got the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI here. 52 is the forecast. 52 is also the previous print. The more closely watched ISM Manufacturing PMI, that'll come out at 10 a.m. And let's see what number we end up getting here. Looks like we came in at 52, so exactly in line with estimates here. Market not reacting too much. Again, 10 a.m. I will give you guys the ISM Manufacturing PMI. A little bit more closely watched. Back to you.
Reddit.
All right. Yeah, we're short more futures, man. That just gave us that little bump to go to the upside. So now we're bidding some 102.40s here. We'll see if we can get that coming through right now. That'd be pretty nice. We're actually bidding 41s, so a little bit of a drop down further than where we are right now. I'd hate to not get this, though. Give me those 41s. Yes, sir. All right. There it is. Let's see what we can do now. We got a full boat reloaded back up right now. There it is, man. Daily goal almost hit already right now, which is 945. And I'm pretty happy with it because we didn't necessarily think we had a trade today, and then we found this short on the market. So really glad with how patient we were on this one and gave it to you again. So yeah, man, a big time over here. Nice positive day so far for us on this short. I mean, it could still get blown out, but we take the advantage of that bump up into the high of the day again. Let's see if we can fade it off and again we just had back-to-back great months. So let's see if we can continue that right now. I'd hate for the market to flush on my long-term account, but for right here, it's okay. We just got another fill, by the way, down there at 25. So yeah, man, we're really starting to realize some profits here. And again, just in a choppy market, like I hope it gets a direction. And if it goes upside, it's why we're starting to get out. So now I'm out of a third of this position. Let me put a little bit more down here in the low 30s, and then we'll try to hold on and see if we can get a much bigger move now in this market back down in a little bit there. So yeah, man, I mean, good trading, and let's just wait to see what's going on. Hopefully the market continues its lower move. Shout out Adam DeLuz, man. Us traders unite, guys.
Yeah, I just had to jump out. We only got 10 cents on LAC. and it just broke the low of the day. So we had 1-to-1, and then we get 1-to-1 on the outside of that trade. I don't mind jumping back over to it at some point, but you break the low, then I'm not holding past that and breaking the rule. That is right now #1 on the list in the visualizer. I see SoFi's up there as well. Thank you guys for putting these symbols in here. We forgot about Reddit. There was a negative news story on Reddit this morning that was circulating with regards to OpenAI data search. So Reddit was down heavily on that news. Apple, we've already talked about. It's SoFi and TEM that are standing out. Tempest, the Nancy Pelosi name that we should always be interested in. But I'll get there in a quick little second. I wanted to look at SoFi for you guys, but we just had a bit of a wick bottom. If we close with a wick out, then I'm going to jump right back in the trade off the same level. Otherwise, it's 650 there on LAC that I'm going to be concerned with. So I want to see this close above 670 before I jump in there again. Weak market, stock might be up 19%, but it's trend down. If you're going against the grain, have rules as far as getting in. And as I said, look, I'll just probably be doing a lot of shorting pops in LAC. Shorting it into prior day high is the name of the game. And I'll scalp some in front of VWAP, but looking for the low of the day there.
Yeah, good one. Tough one there on LAC. Hopefully that can get going, and we'll see. I'm hoping that the TQs can also get going right now. I'm trying to bid some 102.20s here and see if we can get that. There, we're at 21 right now. There it goes. Yes, sir. So good trade. All right, here it is, man. Exciting news for Canadian sophisticated trader. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple levered ETFs offering 3 times bull, 3 times bear exposure to the S&P and TSX 60 semiconductors and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a fee rebate right now of just 65 points. All right, I got to get to this trade right now. Thank you to Beta Pro and Global X for doing that one. Hey, look, man, I hope you guys selected whatever style fits you. But there it is right now. Now we are 2 times our daily goal. And again, just talking about different styles, 1 stock I've traded so far today. And there it goes, Adam Deleuze, man. We did it, buddy. We did it right there. Let's see how much of these hands we can have. But we're doing it again one more time. Like I was saying yesterday, we had an amazing start to the day, and we're actually kicking it off right now again. So far, so good here as this market gives us everything we need. And we weren't even sure what that was. But there it is, man. Big time trading over here today. So yeah, let's just wait. Boom! There's $1 on these futures, Mr. Roberts. There it goes, man. This is our neighborhood right now. This is going to the downside of here. 101.40, 101.50. Oh, man, regardless of who is to my right, we are still putting this out, man, every single day. What a move down to that downside right there. This is what it's all about, guys. And again, like we say, follow your style. But if you're following the yellow brick road, the futures are downside. And there it goes with the TQQs. So boom, right there on this future short. So yeah, everything making sense right now as we finally get the move that we're looking for. So we're just starting to now try to get out of these trades.
Yeah, absolutely. Great short, and this is why you've got to stick to it. At the end of the day, so glad that we got out of the long, and LAC that continues down. ETH is heading to the downside. I did see some people mentioning a halt. I'm not seeing that name, everybody, so just throw in the chat. If you've got the name that's halted, I'm not really seeing it. And we'll talk about the Fermi IPO. It's not going to open for a while. There's no data yet on Fermi. That is the big IPO today. It is, I forget his name, Rick Perry? Rick Perry is the former governor. I think he was the governor. Yeah, Rick Perry backed, and it is an energy play. It's a nuclear play. I like the space. I'm not 100% sold that I'm taking the opening print on Fermi, but there is no data on it yet that I've been able to see. So when we get some imbalance data for you, we'll let you know. It's not up in our system. I think yet it's going to get there at some point, but it's what I'm likely to take. AKAN was the symbol you guys were talking about. Thank you very much. Less than 1 million shares of volume and halted twice. Yuck. That's very, very low vol. We'll see if we can find out what the story is, up 40% on this stock. But if it's done less than 1 million volume on the opening range, this is a multi-halt situation where it could just continue to halt all day. Very, very light volume. And I'd be very careful with that one if I could. As I said, glad we got out of LAC as it broke that low. Did not end up closing on strength for a re-entry, so now I wait for that 630 to 650 area to grab something. And Turner Music, yeah, it's Rick Perry was a great free throw shooter. Ha ha ha. I might have said Rick Berry accidentally, but no, Rick Perry backed IPO. I think it's in the right space because nuclear energy and energy in general for backing data centers is going to be huge, but I want to see size. If there's no open interest in it, then I'm not that interested myself either.
All right. All right, so Amazon back into 218 again right now. Good trade, Juan Padilla, man. Bagging that much money on that short. Good trade. Okay. So I know you're into Ethereum. I'm not into IBIT yet, but it's not doing anything. So not much going on there at all. So we can wait to see what's going on. Basically just with the market. I mean, so just, you know, we covered, like when this came into this level again, we had said, let's wait to see if this drop could happen. You know, and, you know, when it did, these are areas to get out. So we had a banger day yesterday. We're actually up more today than we were up all day yesterday. So we talk about that. We had 4 red days last month. And we're really starting to kick it off here. Again, just trying to make plays, trying to, you know, give you calls that make sense, into them, not in and out fast. You can see we have different styles already, right? Like Neil's traded 3 names, I've traded 1. We saw yesterday with Obi traded 1, I traded 3. So it just goes back and forth, and it's just about finding the opportunities. And then, like we keep saying, you can always look back and say like, hey, is my process making any sense? I mean, we reloaded this up here at 102.50. You know, like that was a trade that I liked. It made sense to me to play the short a little bit. And so we took the shot and rewarded with that, right? Now, whether or not it continues to work out, which is why I'm hesitant to always hold things for the huge moves, take your profit where your profit lies, especially if there is a little bit of uncertainty in the market and in your trading strategies. So we're very certain with the strategy, but we're uncertain of the market. So I'm going to take another piece out right here at 94.95, and now we only have 20 to 25% left of this position as we start to make moves a little bit lower here. So again, man, this was the trade for me. Yesterday we had CoreWeave and Nvidia, and we went the long there. We also been shorting the TQs for like the past week and a half. So that's why we are much more comfortable doing this than anything else. And so far, so good. So yeah, just to think about where to get out. Maybe if we break above this 102.10 or so area, would be a decent spot to get out. So let's just do that. Remember where our stop was on this? Our stop was 75, so it was 10 cents worth of a stop to gain $1. So I mean, a 10-to-1 banger there. I think it's worth taking something out. So you know, that's what we were doing there, and so far so good. This market could rally back. I think there's a lot of uncertainty here, so I'm going to put a stop at 102. 10s is where we'll stop out of probably half of what we have left, and then we'll wait to see if we can get a lower move right now. I don't know if there's any more numbers coming out.
There's a little bit more. There's nothing.
What is it? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, 10:15, I believe.
Yeah, we'll look it up. No, it's 10. It's ISM manufacturing at 10, and then construction. So yeah, nothing at 10:15, but 10 o'clock, 2 numbers. ISM PMI manufacturing and construction spending, both not really market moving, I wouldn't say. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening. Let me get that stop order out. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, thank you, Randy, for sure. So we're going to take second shot here at LAC as it's breaking the trend for the second time. It's still above 650. It just bounced. First time bounced 670. Second time it bounces 660 in front of that 650 level that I'm eyeballing. So looking for that trend break. Same entry as the first, and then I'm going to look for the volume weighted average price as well on that bad boy. I saw a lot of people in the chat, and it's still number 2 on the list. It's SoFi. And SoFi only up 1.5%, unfortunately, after another failed breakout here on SoFi at the open. It did this like a few days ago and was pretty nasty. Well, like it did it yesterday too. So there you go. Like it did it a couple of days ago on Monday, and then it absolutely dropped. Today, it's trying to get through one of these prior levels. If it can break 27.6, I like the liquidity grab that yesterday would turn into. 27.6 really needs to go there for SoFi. And yeah, I'm probably going to reload EA in a second, but ETHA, maybe it's breaking out finally. So I grabbed it off VWAP, but it's still not moving. 10-cent range all morning long. Finally giving some kind of an edge like it wants to go. Let's get a break of the high and buy VWAP instead of the break. So let it break out this top and then pull back into the volume weighted average price will be the play for me. But I still like the structure of Ethereum. It's gapped above. we've seen it do this before. Like the day that it flushed and continued down, you had a long consolidation for a while before it ended up breaking down. So I could see the same thing happening today, and we're patient enough that we can wait on it a little bit here for ETH. Up 3% is meaningless, obviously, because the 24-hour market on Ethereum, on crypto.
Position board is working now. Okay, here we go, man. We didn't reload it, but we did get stopped out. We only actually wound up taking out a quarter of what we had left, so we have now about 15% of our initial trade. I do have a bid. Actually, I'm going to put a bid out right now just to capture some profit here as we make a little bit lower of a move back in. We're still taking this profit out. Let me see what you guys want to do. Look at the insanity on Regeneron. We can definitely look at Regeneron. That is what, REGN? Is that what Regeneron is? REGN. Yeah, Regeneron. Yeah, wow, that was a good call by me. The healthcare sector right now is at highs, 5-month highs right now in healthcare. So, yeah, there goes Regeneron. Wow, nice moving up there. Pharmaceutical company, huge play to the upside. Let's check out what Eli Lilly is doing as well. Wow, holy crap, man, we going on multiple vacations this year, boys. Nice move up to 800. Wow. We bought it down here, by the way. We bought some Eli Lilly at 750. When we got out of Google, we put some money into there. And it wasn't before, it was into here. It was into this area there. And then it went up, and we were like, oh, that's nice. And then they had an earnings miss, and then we were able to average into Eli Lilly down here. So right now, this is probably doing better than if we left our money in Google. I'll have to double check that, but there it goes. Now, right now, taking out those levels, Eli Lilly just continues to, continue to make that move right now. And nice hold for us right there. It's a good thing we decided to do the 25% out there instead. So really happy with that play. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a lower bid in case these numbers that are coming out in 35 seconds, 45 seconds are a little worse. We'll put some bids a little lower, 101.70, 101. Let's go back into the 50s again, see if we can get something down there as well on the TQQs. But yeah, healthcare really blasting today. The ES, though, downside right now. And in just the health sector, I mean, we had Pfizer, we had that Trump RX
XLV's crushed
news yesterday. Yeah, XLV is monstrous. I'm sure my XBI is also doing well. And those were ETFs that we got in. I got in, I should say. There it is, a nice move down again with the face slapper on the TQQs, man. It's all happening right now with the Dara.
Take a look at what is happening right now. At 10 a.m., we will get the ISM manufacturing PMI in just 5 seconds now. 49 was the forecast, 48.7 was the previous print. Let's see what ends up coming in here. ISM, 45.3, so that is above, that was a different part of this print. So 49.1 is the headline number, slightly above estimates of 49. Then we did get ISM manufacturing prices below estimates, ISM manufacturing employment above estimates. We also here, did we get any construction data? I'm not seeing that coming through right now, but ISM here, that was slightly above estimates, 49.1 versus 49 expected. As Sean indicated, not too much of an impact on the market because this number was more or less in line. Here is Lululemon. Lululemon actually faring better than NKE, but on watch, of course, with sympathy with Nike. Nike did post a double earnings beat. Then we have Tesla, TSLA. This was going to be really on watch tomorrow with their deliveries, which we are expecting to be released tomorrow morning. But ahead of those deliveries, we did get some registration numbers in a couple of European countries, specifically 64% decline for new registrations for Sweden in September. But Norway continues to be strong for Tesla. Again, those deliveries are certainly going to be on watch. The company also raising their lease prices for certain models as we do have the EV tax credit that's now come to an end. Be aware there is a press conference starting at 10 a.m. or it's set to start at 10 a.m. with House Speaker Mike Johnson about the shutdown. Likely not going to be market moving, but in case there is anything, I'll be listening and I'll keep you all apprised. Before we send you back to the guys, take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics, OGEN, because each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. So learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Back to you.
All right.
Knock on wood, Eli's going to close over the 200-period moving average.
Yeah, we like that.
It did it last time, though, but it failed it like a couple of days after. So I'm going to use I think it's a 3-day rule actually makes sense here. Let it close above for a couple of times. And if it can do that, then that's a great looking hold. But if it loses it immediately, there might be a chance to just trim and then buy more on the next available dip. I love Eli Lilly, but certainly, like lately, it's been a pretty like rangeable stock if you're looking for a swing opportunity there. So just quickly over to, I know a lot of people have been mentioning some names that we haven't got to. I want to remind everybody that Reddit move, half of it already back. So it got bought up only 6% and just trending to the upside for most of the morning here on Reddit, so worth keeping an eye on. I'm back into LAC, told you guys about the trend break. So broke trend again. There it is. I'm giving it to 666. Obviously, a weird stop level, but that's the level for sure. And that AKAN is halted another time. Said this might be a halt fest for liquidity reasons. This time, 787, and that's the tap that I also see. So AKN with another halt. I'll show you what the chart looks like on ETH, and it is very, very sideways still. It's gliding a little bit higher, so it does make sense to buy some dips and take another shot at it, but it's certainly looking a little bit stronger than it was before. But no big breakout, no big candles or anything. I'm going to sit at VWAP. It finally broke out that high. I said once it broke that high, I'll sit on the dip looking for the volume weighted average price here on ETH. And Tony, I do not recall. You call, where is it? You call that toy gun to your head question you asked 2 weeks ago, as in what stock would you buy? I don't remember exactly what that was. So let me know exactly what that question might have been. Sometimes we'll be talking about a subject, I'll be like, oh, gun to your head, one stock or another. And I don't remember specifically what you were mentioning, but if you know the symbol we were talking about, let me know.
All right, so yeah, we're still doing the same old stuff over here. Yeah, LAC, Neil's in that, so that's been what it is. Lulu, oh yeah, so this is what I want to talk about. You mentioned Lulu there, Darren. We talked about that 180 break. So that 180 break worked great up to 180, 150. I don't know if anybody had that, but the volume was really tough on the open. It looks like there wasn't much going on. So I just don't know if anybody actually had that trade. Looks like it would have been a definitely a tough one over there with sort of the movement there, because like the spread even right now is 20 cents. So not sure where that one came from or not. But, you know, if you guys had that good little move up there to 180, 150, Lululemon still up on the day. So that's obviously nice to see. So we'll wait to see, you know, if that one can get going more. Lululemon right there, and following on the tracks, of course, of Nike. So we'll wait to see if Nike can get going again or not. Again, like the stock here of Nike, but I don't think it's the right space right now. We are still very, very uncertain, obviously, of the different tariffs out there, and then too much inventory. Their margins were shrinking as well. So, yeah, not an overall great look, I don't think, for Nike these days now either. All right, so we did reload just a little bit up here. I don't want to be, like I said, I don't necessarily want to be like layered into committing too much. Okay, well, we'll take some out at 42, but don't want to be too committed to this short with House Speaker Johnson is speaking right now. And, you know, anything could happen, speaking about the government shutdown. You know, so it's just a little bit of a risky position, I feel like, anyways, to be in. So we'll start to just scalp it out, and we are really just stacking it up right now. It's I mean, you can clearly see it's tough enough to find winners. So we're going to put the winners in and then see what winds up happening, and just make sure that we're not like too caught up in, you know, missing trades, right? I mean, you could always miss trades, but we want to make sure that the ones that we're in, we have them, and we have them solid, right? And so far so good here on that kind of a talk, but hey, anything can turn around. So we're going to make sure to get out as there's more government speak about anything right now, right? It's a very risky, in my opinion, anyways, ideal right now to be involved with anything related to the shutdown. And I feel like the futures obviously is a big part of that one. So let's just take some more out here into the 30s, and then we'll wait and see where we get going on this one. But here it is, man, into the 30s, a good trade so far. Let's just see if it can continue to work out for us. Positive, you know, expectation on the trade still, but we're still getting out on that same stop. I have not changed it at all. So that still stop remains up here at 75. So reloaded right there again. This is what we did yesterday, man. 3 reloads right there on the same stock. So I see your LAC's not moving, and EA Sports, I don't think there's much going on there either. So we'll have to wait to see, but here goes TQQ's nice move to the upside.
Yeah, ETH broke out, by the way. So ETH, like I said, first available dip, it breaks out. It just broke out the high of the day. I haven't checked Bitcoin. I'll do that in a quick little second. Ethereum is over 43,000. ETHA broke 3260. So whether or not it's kind of like adjacent to the same thing. So about that 43,000 level, and then that overnight or pre-market high break. It tried to break early and then failed. Didn't really go anywhere, but I'm buying the dip back into the volume weighted average price on this. IBIT, Bitcoin, trending up as well. So they both broke out the high of the day and are continuing to rally just a little bit higher. And with that, these miners, there goes MARA again. So looking across the board, you're seeing MARA breakout along with Bitcoin looking very, very strong. And that AKN continues to, we'll keep monitoring. Whoops. AKAN. Of course, AKAM is also a stock.
Yeah.
Okay,
never win, man.
That opened up and actually to the downside a little bit here. So a little bit of pressure here for AKN, failing that $8 level, but it's probably going to halt. Literally going to halt again. This stock can't stay open. It's going to halt in 2 seconds off this 819 level. So another halt band here met by AKN. Congratulations if you have it. Good luck if you happen to be trying to short that name, as it's going absolutely ham. So ETH, buying the dip into the volume weighted average price and looking for this to trend. I think there's a lot of room here on ETH. Just gap-wise, 33.5 is a long ways away. You know, whether we get to that 44,000 resistance, that's a big one. First step needs to hold 43, which will be VWAP on ETHA.
All right, so I was still looking at, I know you're on LAC, but it is starting to make a move down right now. So I was trying to think about what to do on this play, but again, until it gets into that 660 area, I think it's just a no-go for me right now. And we're just going to continue to honestly just milk the exact same trade that we've had all day long. Let's go find out right now who made a lot of money yesterday here at Real Trading. So this is yesterday's traders. So let's go have a quick little look and see what's up with that right now. So here we go. Compare your profits from yesterday. Wow, okay, Canada TSX again. We've seen some big numbers in Canada lately. So 22,000 in those markets. NASDAQ yesterday, 17,000. Look at this, all the Canadian markets coming through again. Amex showing up there, maybe someone trading SPY or GLD, maybe FXI, something there as well. Amex again, NASDAQ, New York. So a lot of Canada there littered right now. But yeah, it must be something going on over there in the Canadian markets, whether or not it be imbalances or rebate. Well, it won't be rebate trading with that much money, but nice move right there in Canada. So congratulations to anybody looking over there. And join Real Trading, right? Over 60 plus markets, and you can get involved today. So join them, go to realtrading.com and find out more. I'm getting a little bit more out
Just
here.
as a note on Canada for a second. Like
Sure.
the Toronto markets are uniquely trendy for the first couple of minutes. Like if you ever look at charts in Toronto, like for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the day, if you have the right direction, it can be absolutely gorgeous. My guess is it could be something along those lines when you figure something out. But shout out to anybody looking for a futures trading platform that actually delivers and does so without hidden costs. Because with plus 500 futures, you get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo so you can practice until you're ready to trade live. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100. With plus 500's powerful platform, you access a wide range of futures markets, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, Bitcoin, gas, Forex, metals, crypto, and more all in one place. Plus, enjoy a welcome bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just scan the QR code on screen to apply for your account today and join over 300 million users worldwide who have already chosen plus 500. Shout out to them. We appreciate you. Thank them for sponsoring this portion of the show. All right.
Yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, I was just kind of looking at the chat, trying to figure out what's going on. We had talked about the other day about Meta and trying to think about that, and I was like, I don't want this stock, and I'm glad that we said that. Now Meta's down another 3%.
It's got more to go down.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying from time. So I think this and Amazon do have more lows to come. I mean, I don't, like 660 would be crazy, but again, like this is just brought right back into February.
I don't think that's crazy.
660?
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy, but could be. I mean, I don't think today it happens, but it's more the 666. It's yesterday's high level was 6666666 on the SPY, so that number seems pretty ominous, and that's what's right there on Meta. So yeah, man, a pretty nice pullback, and you'd have to be smarter than Neil and I to know to flatten out of your positions. I mean, anybody getting out up there was a great trade to do that. That's what's making me think about Nvidia. Like I want to still be in these names, but at the end of the day, if we do have this negative move in the market, which we're not actually getting, the market's actually up now since open. Oh, by the way, I am not reloading this. So we've only had one trade today, and it'll be all that we need, right? That's obviously, as we'll just wait now to see if this takes out 102.75. We only have like 10% left. And that is even after our reload. So after all of these shares, we've traded thousands of TQQ shares today, and we have less than 100 left. So whatever that kind of math is, it's mathing. So I'm not even looking at that anymore. If the stop out happens, it happens. I'm trying to get some more out down here and then even lower than that. So we've already ran this there. No, the only one at LAC, and I know it's been a little bit of a rough one because it's not moving around. Neil's in that right now. Neil traded Ethereum, and you traded something else, and EA and something else. What was it?
I'll be in EL. It took one trade in Tesla.
Oh, Tesla.
I don't know if I'll take a second. It's now trending to the upside. Yeah, I'll go to LAC first, and I'll talk about ETH after. Like LAC, I've gotten back in, and it's now holding the higher low, but it's not really making that bounce into VWAP or anything too crazy, which is 710. So it still needs to get itself going. The way I see it, the structure of the trade's holding up. Like it broke 740, and we just waited for it to bounce off that low, which it has, which is like the prior resistance 650. So we got in the first time, gave us a quick bounce, and then that was more of a flat trade than anything else. And this one in here, looking for it to hold the low and play back into 7. I don't have offers out yet, but I'm getting pretty close to throwing them in there. ETH continues its like slow grind to the upside. On a 15-minute chart, it's going to look like nothing has happened on Ethereum, which is true, I think, but it's been holding on to the volume weighted average price. So there's a dip into VWAP. I'll take one more out in front of the high and then just start looking to buy some dips if this can continue. It's very, very slow and chilling grind to the upside. Lilly did get to 800.
Ooh. This
brought me to, I was going to ask this question.
Likey.
We were just talking about Meta. I don't remember who I had this discussion with. I think it was maybe my dad. And we were talking about like stocks that you buy and you hold forever because they're quality companies. And he was like, well, what would you actually need to, like, what would cause you to sell everything in one of those core stocks? Like what would Meta have to do to make you want to sell it all? And I didn't, and you know what the funny thing was? I didn't have an immediate answer for him. No. And it made me think about it. Like, it's obviously, like, there's some obvious answers that you, like, something.
But it'd be too late.
Something Black Swanish, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be too late at that point.
You'd be Mr. Too Late.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking about, like, what sign would I need to see? And I need to give it some thought, because I've never thought about that question. And my pops was like, well, not that to scare you or anything, but it's not a horrible thing to consider. Like, what would scare you fundamentally out of a core holding?
But how much of a percentage is a core holding for you?
Oh, a big one?
Well, core. You said the word core.
I try to keep underneath 5 to 7 is a little bit much.
Okay.
But then they're all over 2%. If it's,
yeah.
So like if it's under 2%,
I was just thinking like.
But if it gets over 5, then I start thinking trim anyways. That's what I was doing. Because the problem is if
Meta crashes, then so does all your other.
Well, that's my whole thing.
So that's why you have to get it in front of it somehow.
And that's why I was like, well, usually by that point, I've probably trimmed for some other reasons. But yeah, it's an interesting question. I've never really given it too much thought there.
A good one.
But you should always have some. I don't know. I feel like this is the kind of question I should have an answer to, but I really don't.
Yeah, no, my answer is I just keep trimming on the way up. I mean, I don't, and then I just reassess. Like, that's why I was asking about the percentages. I don't even look at percentages, really. I just kind of look and see what kind of a move has that name had, right? Like, when we look down, and I forget forget the name the other day, we said, oh, it was Intel. We were up 74% on that trade. Like, I think that's a good trade to be up 74% in half of a year. So that's like part of the logic for me is, has it run a little bit more than we thought? And then if it has, then we get out, right? And if we can find levels like we did on Intel right here, and it's coming back up. So if any of you missed that level, or you like it or you don't, whatever, it's coming right back to this area again. And that's how you sort of just raise the capital, that if there is a dump down, that's why when I'm saying like I like to buy Amazon, I'm buying it with money, not new money, it's money that we've raised from selling positions, right? And so I think like that might be another call there about Eli Lilly, like, you know, again, trying to look at the portfolio and just reassessing it every once in a while and say like, you know, how much has this thing grown, regardless of how much I have in, right? Like, I think Marvell, have too much in Marvell, I know that, but I actually, we did trim some in this stock, but we're still gonna wait to see if it can break even higher. But if this can break below 80 bucks again, then I really should be rethinking how many shares I have in this position to get out, because if there is that, it's not going to be a black swan event, but if there is something with China or something like that that really starts to affect the chip space, then yeah, Marvell could be right back down into here. And then all of a sudden, all those paper profits, I mean, check Donkey Kong out, you know, if you want to get like a little nervous about something, what could possibly happen when fundamentals change on a stock, right? So DraftKings got more competition with Kalshi putting up with the predictive markets and putting in parlays and whatnot. That started to give Donkey Kong a little bit of a nightmare, and you can see it's a nightmare for shareholders when that stuff starts to happen. So you can never really see those things other than, did I just get more? No, I didn't. Okay. So the TQs, I was wondering like how many shares I have, but nothing's really. So we are losing a little bit. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm giving back about 5%. So I can see, maybe even less. I can see how much we've made on this. Once this breaks 75, then we almost rate now. Why did that not trigger out? Okay, it should have. So I'm just going to punch out right now. I don't know why that didn't trigger. So I'm just going to bid 70. Bidding 76s. I don't want to miss it. Doesn't matter. It's such a small amount. But there it is. Gimme. There it is. Okay. So that closes that trade. So, you know, for me, 1 for 1 day. You know, we hit the goal for the day, and that's trading. So there it goes, man. Just one solid trade, and that's really all that it takes. And we're glad to do that today. So there's one. Now we'll start to look somewhere else. I mean, there goes the market. And I think it just kind of makes sense with what we wrote down here. Only these two ideas early. We had LAC and IBIT. LAC never broke the high, so we didn't trade that. And then IBIT never got down, so we didn't trade that. And then we just said, the shutdown, I want to see the NASDAQ's reaction early. And then, I mean, if you, here, it's hard to see it, so I'll just put it back over here. And then we say, and then fade any pops. So there it is, should be here. Did I not attach it? Okay, there it is right there. So, you know, only these two ideas are there. Possible failed pops early. So if we hit that fade on the pops, then that's what we wanted to do. So we did exactly that on the TQs. We weren't sure what the market was going to do. This is a pop goes the weasel, and that's a drop it down low. So that was a great opportunity there. Filled out exactly what we wanted to do. And Neil, when your trades hit, you should be making your levels, right? And so that's a good one. That's
the thing. If your trades work, then that's how it should be. And just make sure everybody, like when you, the way I always look at it is you're always paying for, like there's no such thing as a free lunch. Like you're always paying for something. So the amount that you risk on the trade, let's say I'll give you I'll just make an example of the stock that I'm in right now because it's the best way to do it. So I'll simply tell you, like EA, that's going to be hard to see, but like the next level, 202.5, like at no point have I got in what I had on Monday, which is fair because it didn't get up as high as on Monday. But if it gets up to 202.5, if I put a full position on, I want to risk about 25 cents. So that amount, that's your cost for the trade. And then when I look at it, if I lose on that trade, I want to lose a fraction of what I made when it worked all day on Friday. Or sorry, on Monday, I should say. So that's the way I look at it. So that a good day should be bigger than when you have a loss. But you can always work at it. There's other ways to do it too. Like I've seen traders make it work, where they just have a ridiculously high winning percentage on a given strategy, let's just say.
Yeah.
So when it does blow up, and when it does blow up, they can lose more and it can work for them. But it's just not something I've seen on a consistent basis. That being said, ETH just hit the high and is pulling back. So again, take some out in front of the high, pull some on the dip. For now, it's holding the volume weighted average price. I think we should be able to continue trend up. It likes to follow the market, so let's just see if it can go as well. And good thing that we got away from Tesla, because Tesla is now 454. Tesla is, now it's almost blue skies on Tesla, because all you're looking at is the December, I think it was on my birthday when it hit that 470 last time, when we got there on Boxing Day. So I think blue sky is available here on Tesla ahead of those deliveries. Pretty intense move. It's only 2%, but you're still breaking this consolidation that it's been in for a while. So the sellers have been dumped. Bye-bye. Tesla off to the races. Adara?
We're going to start with BBAI. Oh, never mind. I think my mic's having an issue.
All right, Neil, man, the no gloating wants, you got a super chat right into there, so let's discuss that.
What do we got here? Thanks, Joe. Great number of gloating. I mean, you just...
It's not gloating. I've already discussed
your personality is your personality.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you this.
Sleeping on this.
This was something that Brendan told me really early. I'm just gonna get to super chat and we'll get right back to Adair in a quick little second. No, and he was like, because Brendan used to do radio, right? So he was the only person with any broadcast experience. Yeah. And so when we were going on, all he simply said is, if you try to be something that you are not, it'll be very obvious that you're being fake.
Right.
So then, you know, like, I'm more of a Tim Duncan kind of guy. I kind of always have been that way, but so it is what it is. But here's what's more important. We said bull might test 16 on Tuesday. What indication helped you see that? We like Webull. I'll get that out of the way. And the other thing, too, is I own shares of Webull at $10.69. It would be 42, but I didn't get filled at 42.
Right.
I got 16.
There we go.
I got 69. No, but Webull, if it'll load up here in a quick little second, thank you, charts. I just want to make sure we got to the super chat. The reason we said, come on, there you go. The reason I said 16 was just simple technical. Like, if you looked at the last time it bounced off this area here, look at the resistance at 16 bucks, topping tail wicks, culminating with a fail of the 16 level, but all these fails around the same price level. So when it held here at 13 again, I'm just thinking it goes to 16. Like, as simple as possible. That being said, I didn't get this trade. Like, I didn't end up going long at 13 bucks. So it didn't really matter. I was just looking at the technical levels. But thank you, HXC6.
Yeah, and I just want to thank everybody in the chat as well. Obviously, that guy's just joking. You know, you could see here, man, people, we've been dealing with this the whole time in the chat. We both see this all the time, right? I mean, when you're winning on a trade, it's like yesterday, you know, we're winning and it's just like we're congratulating and we're happy for each other. And at the end of the day, that's all you can do is look at your own account. And hey, if you're winning, we're going to talk about it. And the good thing that I do is if I'm losing, we're also talking about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll take, I mean, I like, we had this discussion before too. I'll take the Kobe and MJ attitude of the killer and the Tim Duncan. I love the Tim Duncan. I think Kawhi's a good one for you as well. Someone
I don't like Kawhi Leonard.
Someone in the chat just put that in there. Right,
I met a dude,
well, so
I told you about this.
Yeah, well, Kawhi's
no, but I ran into this a really, really cool gentleman at a Jays game at an event. And he knew everybody on the team. Like, he knew all the players, he knew all the coaches, he had great relationships with them. He's the one that actually got Barrios to come out and sign for my daughter. And we were sort of talking, and he does like personal training, so I guess he knows athletes from there. And all he had, like, the stories he was telling about Kawhi, just made me think a little bit differently of the guy. But how Kawhi treated everyday people, how he treated like the wait staff somewhere, how he treated the guy that opened the door for him, how he treated people that worked in the organization. And when you hear that about a star, you think, oh, he brought us a championship, congratulations, you know, thank you, Kawhi, you'll always be a legend for that. But that's the kind of thing that rubs me the wrong way, because I'll tell you right now, whether you're Kobe or Duncan, both those dudes, people speak very well of them. You never hear people say bad words about them in the organization. I mean, like, no, there's no ball boy that's going to be talking trash about Kobe, or a fan that's like, "Oh, Kobe blew me off." You don't hear that kind of stuff out of those two guys, even though they're quite different people. Anyways, yeah. So I'm not a huge
negative things. I mean,
I'm not a huge Kawhi fan.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
I love Kobe. Let's go to.
You get carried away.
No, he's a good guy.
He's,
legend. Top 10 all time.
Not top 10. Yeah, top 3. I don't
know if he's in.
Kobe Bryant?
That's a different discussion. But
MJ, LeBron.
I don't put him. I'm not putting him over Kareem.
You're not?
No, I'm not putting Kobe over Kareem. Or Wilt.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do that.
Any Laker fans in the chat? Let us know what you guys are thinking.
Look, Kobe's great. I don't know if I could do that. It's the captain, man.
Yeah, I did hear that he was not the greatest teammate, Kobe, for sure. So, yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's go. Yeah, Magic Johnson, maybe.
Oh, Magic?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Kobe top 3. Okay, Kobe top 10, Kobe top 3, easy. All right, Kobe greater than LeBron. Okay, well, this is what makes it all exciting around here. So, all right, let's go back over. Yesterday I asked Obi to name 2 players on the Blue Jays. He could not name 1. So very, very interesting call right there. Sports is not for everybody.
No, not everybody. You don't have to.
But trading is for this guy, and news is for that girl. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, keep an eye here. We'll do small caps. Big Bear to the upside. Not really a small cap. About 3.5 billion market cap and a 21% short float, but nice push to the upside today. Then we have CJET, Cheetah Motors. This one is another one of those crypto treasury type plays. Today, though, trading higher after they've expanded their private placement offering to up to $1 billion through a memorandum of understanding. Last but not least, RZLV, Resolve AI. This one removed from its pre-market highs, but on watch after raising its 2025 revenue target to $150 million in annual recurring revenue with a $500 million goal for 2026. Before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool, because Trade the Pool Beat Ackman live trading competition is here. October 8th to 10th. Every day, Ackman makes his move, and your mission is to outperform him. Beat his return, prove you've got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th, broadcast live on Trader TV with Trade the Pool team live in the studio. Over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs, $25,000, $50,000, and even $100,000 valuation accounts, and surprise giveaways during the live show. So don't just watch, compete. Beat Ackman and win big. Scan that QR code to start trading. Back to you.
Train the same either. We're just saying, like, Michael Jordan didn't even really train that hard. No. I'm sure he did, but on the golf course and all that drinking.
Dude was going out and playing how many holes?
He was,
Speaking of golf, I have some questions to you. I have some questions about the Ryder Cup I have to ask.
I didn't even watch the Ryder Cup, so I have no idea.
Oh, you know what happened?
No, I didn't even watch it.
Dude, apparently they were heckling like
crazy.
Rory,
I saw that. Yeah. Well, it's in New York.
Beers at his wife?
Well, that
doesn't seem...
They'll never have it there.
Why do you have a box of Swiffer?
Dusty.
Okay.
Dusty.
It is very dusty.
Okay. It is a little dusty in here.
All right, so good hold there on LAC. Neil's got that one. The futures really started to blast up. So that was, again, diamond hands when it wins, not when it loses. And there it goes, what Neil was saying about finding, big trades consistently. That's, and I thank Neil for mentioning that, because he had mentioned that these traders are few and far between. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what I was saying about the consistency factor about last month, 4 red days. And we had upped sort of our risk. So it was a good month. So we want to still try to play in the same world, right? And that is that to use more shares, look for specific trades, not get blown out, and take good winners. For everybody out there, right? And so hopefully, if we can continue to do that, we'll continue to mention those trades, and hopefully, if you guys like them and you can develop the way I trade and your own style and put it all together, that's the magic, is to figure something out where you are consistent and you're able to make enough money to pay the bills, right? So I think that's what you're trying to do, or at least trade for vacation money or something like that until you really get it going, right? All right, so that was Marvell, waiting to see if that was going to break, still down 2%, not super excited about that. We are getting oil coming through right now with inventories, expected draw, I don't know, I'll have to, it's not hitting on my Benzinga right now, but we can see what's going on with CL. These are the oil futures. So I was looking yesterday, I clicked on yesterday the October contract, but that was showing me nothing. Yeah, so I don't know what the contract is right now. September, that would be over. July, June, May, April.
Whatever X is.
X. Yes, we don't have X even on here. So X25. So now it's now it's November. Okay, so that makes sense. So let's just see what's going on now with crude oil. Not much. So there's a little bit of a bump up there into the number, then the fade out just a little bit. So I still don't have it, but whatever it's doing right now, nice move down there as well.
You know what I don't have?
Solana Treasury. What's that Vision System AI?
There's still no tap on Fermi.
What is that stock? Oh, on VSA. Oh, hold on a second. VSA took a Solana Treasury. Is that right? And symbol. What is it? It's not VSA. Is it VSA? No. Oh, yeah, down 58%, maybe? I don't know. I'm just getting a story here. It just says right here, VSA, I guess. Oh, yeah, plummeted. Okay, that's right. On Wednesday after unveiling a pre-market partnership with Marinade, so it's marinating, financial right here to launch Solana-based treasury, valued at $2 billion. Okay, so that's why when I called up the stock, I was like, what's up with that? Normally, so this is backfired on these guys right now. Yeah, usually, exactly. What's up with that?
It's a new era if it's not even getting the pump.
Well, I don't know.
If it's only doing the dump, that's bad.
Yeah, like it looks like, and I stopped the charts, but it doesn't look like it was doing anything. If yesterday it's 340 down to 140 right now. So yeah, yikes. Not great news here for VSA. I wonder if you guys know of any stories with this one because yeah, down there on a Solana announcement for that treasury. Let me just go over quickly the market caps here. So 117, I mean, wow, Bitcoin, Ethereum, I mean, good 24-hour move, right? So I'm going to assume that that move is extended everywhere else. Yes, so I didn't buy anything on this dip. Like, we could have got more Ripple at 280, we didn't do that. We could have got more Solana at 200, we didn't do that. I'm already loaded up in Cardano, I'm not doing anything there. And I didn't buy more Bitcoin, and I'm not buying more Ethereum. So I don't, you know, nice movement back up to the upside right now in the space. But yeah, that's strange. I thought maybe Solana was getting rocked. I mean, I didn't actually think that, but I was thinking that that may be what was causing that move. But I guess not right there on that Solana BSA there. So there it goes down to the downside. But anyways,
I don't trust those plays anyways.
Going the wrong way, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust those. If you're doing a treasury, then I'm sitting you out. It's just not my cup of tea. And yeah, congrats to anybody that pulls it off. I'd just rather be in the actual tokens themselves and take your shots that way. It doesn't mean you can't trade. Like, to me, if there's a day trade there's a day trade there, but I never really want to invest in them. I'm still, here, just to show you first, LAC, since making the higher low, is threatening to break trend. I wanted one last fill in front of VWAP. If I don't get it, then I'm getting out on a trend break. But I'm still not seeing any imbalance data on Fermi. So it's not even up here yet. I'm going to double check. It's supposed to be today. FRMI is supposed to be an IPO today. And Rick Perry backed energy name. And I'm not seeing it. So hopefully it is actually today. We'll keep our ear to the ground. Again, no update on it. So if you're asking about the IPO today, then we'll keep looking for you there. Thank you, Nimrod, for this. 50 memberships. Boom. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Whoever at the banks, that's got to be Sharif or Joe over there because I didn't get a chance to get to it. But thank you so much, Nimrod. And if you're wondering, how do you get that advantage of getting those memberships? Well, you got to enable them in the chat. So you got to jump in the chat. To be in the chat, you have to be a subscriber. And I think right when you jump in, you have to enable gifts. So grab them up. Thank you, everybody. But thank you specifically, Nimrod. Always been just a great member of the community. All right, so it's breaking trend. I'm just going to punch out. I was about to move my stop, and I'm like, I don't need to move the stop. I can just punch out of the trade. And ETH must have just, ETH just tagged the high. So it just made another breakout. We're going to buy the next dip into the volume-weighted average price as ETH just continues its relatively slow grind up. It was up 3%. Now it's up 4%. We'll buy the next dip on ETH as long as this continues to trend higher. NEO to the moon, someone just said. NIO to the moon? Not today. Not today. So I hope it goes for you if you're long this one. This has been maybe the best trending Chinese EV name the last little bit. I'll give it that much. Whether or not that holds up, doesn't matter. Momentum's been fine. Just not today on NEO. Whatever reason. So if you're buying pullbacks on this, good luck. It's been a good trend, but it's certainly not to the moon today. What is going is Nvidia along with this market. More all-time highs, Look at that V-shaped reversal on Nvidia. This has got to be a long at some point. Prior high was what, 187 in here? Let me go to my 15-minute. That'll be way better on a 15-minute chart. There we go. Oops, I zoomed in too many times. Yeah, you know you haven't broken out. Nope, check that. You have not broken out a new all-time high yet on Nvidia. It's about 15 cents away from an all-time high break. Let's look for a false break, dip into VWAP or 186.5. Like right in here, like this consolidative high. So another day, another all-time high. Next stop, probably 5 trillion for Nvidia the way it's going.
All right. Yeah, just, all right, so because Nimrod had mentioned that over there to us, let me just go over one quick little thing, and we want to thank Nimrod for giving us those 50 memberships and giving everybody there in the chat the same way. We are doing something different right now with our membership. So, okay, all right, well, we can wait. Brendan's just updating this right now as we speak, but if you go to join, what we're actually doing for $5 a month right now, sure, you get these cool emojis, you get all these fun little things that you can put in, our faces, Bitcoin, some different things that we've been updating, but brand new, starting now, today, Brendan's just telling us it's updating. We're going to change all this right now. You are going to actually begin to get, and it's Sharif's morning note. So you are actually going to get, here if I bring this down a little bit, you're going to get this note live in your inbox for just $5 a month. It has all the interesting levels for support. It has much more in-depth look at all of the stories that we talk about, including new stories as well. So this is something that I have open and we discuss it. Obviously, Sharif goes over that in the midday with Joe and Adara, but you just got to click join right there. So for $5 a month, it's going to get delivered. It's replacing our, I don't know if we're going to get rid of the current watch list. We may still send that out, but for now, it's a much more in-depth. For $5 a month, like that's just covering whatever this YouTube cost is to put that out. So it's a completely awesome opportunity. For $5 a month is like 30 cents a day, or not even that, to get a fully curated list. So I want everybody right now, if you did not grab one of Nimrod's 50 memberships right there, we want to obviously thank him for putting that out, but go in right now and grab a membership because then you'll get the best watch list delivered to you immediately for free. I don't know about immediately, but every single morning.
Before we go to Adair, quickly, Nimrod again with a super chat. Whoever hasn't received a membership, stay in the chat and subscribe. He says he will gift additional subs every 2 hours today. So every 2 hours, you need to be a subscriber to be in the chat. Make sure you do so, and let's jump over to Adara. Thank you so much, Nimrod.
Okay, keep an eye here on Google, GOOGL. Business Insider reporting that Google has cut employees in its cloud division this week. Apparently, these cuts mostly affected staff working in user experience roles like design and UX research, and they've been making rolling cuts over the past 2 years. So just keep an eye here at Google with some cuts in the cloud division. Back to you.
I'm going ham. I was I turned to Sean, I just go, is there a story on Palantir today? And he goes,
I don't know.
We don't know.
Well, it's zero. I mean, the market's at zero. Palantir up 1%. I mean, I feel like if there was a story, this thing would be up like.
It's 185. Yeah, that's true. It's but this 185 level has been trying to break this stock out for a while.
It's nice the market came back.
Go Palantir, just a little bit more. I think it's 186. I think these are real. That's a real wick, and it's not quite 186. It's like 185.80 or something like that for Palantir. So that's the next story, or a step or level that has to break. I just drew this trend line to see if it could hold on to the trend. I was like, oh, well, if it held the trend line, you could take like a 185 break or re-break and give it to the trend. And then the next thing it does is promptly lose the trend line. So, well, there's no long there. Maybe the volume weighted average price here for Palantir. No story in particular, but this going, market going, Nvidia going. Let us know what other names you're looking at for sure in the chat. It's still, I still see all the same things on when I look up at the visualizer. Tesla, LAC, SoFi, Tempest AI. We didn't look at, sorry, we're not looking at Tempest AI. There was no story specifically that I knew on Tempest AI, but all the same names up there, actually Meta popping in. SoFi wasn't doing a heck of a lot either, unfortunately. Tempest is powering up 6%. That'll play.
Yeah, it's a good level there.
Nancy just continues to win with this one.
Yep.
I can tell you, like just the steady buy the dip on this stock just continues to work over and over again. So you follow with Nance, and you will win. Congratulations.
Yeah. Or, yesterday we talked about attention gloating again. We talked about buying, we got super chats yesterday. We talked about BBAI at 650. I didn't buy any. So I'm glad that if any of you guys did there. BBAI, a nice move off. We said it's time, if you're not in it, it's time to sort of start maybe getting in it if you believe in the name. Again, we're still a month away from earnings, but bouncing off that 50-period moving average, no matter what the stock, if you like it, I think it's a buy at that area, 50 period. So, there goes BBAI. I have targets of 10 and change. We just got to wait for earnings, and they better be good. And if they're not, then you're going to get a move back in again. So it's to sit here and try to predict what BigBear is going to do with earnings. Fortunately, I wish I had that kind of power, and if I did, I wouldn't be sitting here. But that's what we're trying to do. We are in a new position right now, so we hit the sirens up again for this as we're back into the TQs. And I was just going to give this. We just had a wick high there in and around 103.50s, so it's not like it's the greatest trade. We just did have a nice move back into the 20s there. I don't know why I didn't have any bids out. I was looking at that BigBear for you guys, but that would be a good little level there. I mean, that drop has to happen through here, 103.15. If that does happen, then giddy up on that one. But I am bidding some 24s right now. What are we short at? 35s or 36s? Let's put a bid at 26, just because we always seem to take 10 cents, and I don't even really know why. But we'll get that, and then if it breaks below, we're sitting right here right now at 21s. So we'll see if we can get that fill. It actually should be maybe 22s. We'll see if we can get that, and then this is the break that we're really waiting for, 15s or so. If that can happen, then I think we get a downside surprise and maybe back into the 50-period moving average. But our stop is just going to be this local high of 65, so 30 cents worth of risk. We'd like to take 30 cents worth of a winner. So first area out, obviously low 20s, we just said that. That'll be 15 cents halfway to the promised land. And then, hey, if we get stopped out on this one, we get stopped out. But I'm not averaging in until 103.55 right now. So we have we've made our bet on this one a little bit. The TQs continues to be a big trade, and we'll see if we can just sort of add a little bit to that. There is something, you have to go into YouTube and somehow select that you want to accept memberships. I don't know how to do it. But if you just click on join right here, now you get all of these emojis, like we said, and then there it is right now. Plus our members only morning research note brought to you by Sharif. So we want to thank him for doing all that hard work. And now for just that $5 a month, you're going to get that. And then you can follow along in the midday with that note. And, also use it to curate your own lists. Like, the sticky note comes off of that. So that's what I'm doing. And I think it's great that Nimrod's going to be doing that. And Nimrod also said that he's going to be dropping them every 2 hours. So stay on the
Don't
channel.
go anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. And let's get that. So, all right. Okay, your bill's $6.99 a month, and we have to figure out. Yeah, put that in the chat. $9.74 Canadian. Well, right now Canadian is like one. So if it's 5, how much does it say? $4.99 times 1.42 or so.
Like double.
Yeah, it should be 7 or so.
Like $7.
So we'll find out why it's $6.99. But Brendan's on that, so
thanks for letting us know.
He'll look at that, and thanks, Westermeyer. But it should be $4.99, I think. But maybe it's $6.99. Hey, at $6.99. It's the best value period out there. Wait till you guys see
cup of coffee a day and get that note.
Wait till you see that note.
Yeah.
So
exactly. That's what it is.
That's that. So we've been sort of touting it for a long time, and we're glad to bring it to you again. So yeah.
Day trader cut $3.99. Well, the show is free $99. Actually, no, the show's not free $99 because there's no 99. It's just.
Yeah. You got to listen to us.
It's just free
with those ads. But just quickly, I don't know. Are we going to Adara? Okay, what is it for? Sector Watch. Okay, I was just going to go over some sectors. So let's go over then to Adara and get the read on Sector Watch.
I think it's pretty apparent what sector has a lot of outside strength today. That's going to be health technology over here in the corner. Now, there are a couple names sharply to the downside here as well. Intuitive Surgical, Abbott Labs, Boston Scientific, but generally you have Eli Lilly leading the group with AbbVie, Thermo Fisher, and Amgen also really strong. Now, the reason Eli Lilly is leading here is because we know yesterday this one rallied as well after U.S. President Donald Trump and some people in his administration indicated that beyond their Pfizer deal, which they announced with lower drug pricing, they're going to be trying to strike deals with Eli Lilly as well. So LLY certainly on watch there. They indicated other companies down the line too. Producer manufacturing here, a little bit of strength with Caterpillar, Lam Research, and AMAT to the upside. Utilities holding up relatively well too. Next Era and Constellation, two of the largest constituents in the group, are trading higher. But there's a lot of weakness here in finance and technology services. Also, retail trade a little bit here as well. Let's start here with tech services. Meta, sharply to the downside. No clear catalyst that I could find. Adobe down about 3% here as well. Microsoft, Google, and Netflix relatively red too. Now, if you go to electronic technology, this is going to be a little bit flatter, but Micron is actually up about 5%. So there is some outside strength. Intel up 1%. Dell up about 3%. AMD, which did have a catalyst with IBM this morning, only slightly green today, guys. So mixed look across the board. Market's relatively flat. I would say this board pretty much reflects that. But if you're looking for strength, check out health tech. Back to you.
Yeah, healthcare 100% and Nvidia. Healthcare, Nvidia. But I was just sort of noting, like of the non-tech stocks, it's retail that's weak. Like Walmart down 2.25 into a flat market. That's not nothing.
Nope.
For Walmart. So I was just let me quickly just mention this about AMD. AMD 164. Here's the 15-minute chart. There's 164. There's a fail at 164. It's just triple topped on a 15-minute chart at 164. The same resistance it's had for the last couple of weeks now on AMD. There's no good trends unless it literally breaks down under 163 here. It's kind of looking at the all-day trend line and then the VWAP holds trend line, and they're basically saying the same thing. It needs to break underneath 63, but I like 64 as resistance first. If it gets back up there, look for the short. If it breaks trend, try that one as a short trade. But yeah, Walmart, with retail looking relatively weak. I know Amazon was able to bounce there, but Costco weak, Walmart weak. This is, it's right back to the 50 period in that $100 level. So it's at some pretty hefty support for potential bounce play. So Walmart at 100 could be a bit of a thing today for lunch as we're going right back to Adara for more news.
Oh, yeah, I'll do money talks while I'm here, too, because this story is actually kind of related to both. We'll start here by looking at the NASDAQ. Now, again, pretty strong on the day. I do want to mention those Supreme Court refusing to let Trump immediately oust Fed's cook. So Supreme Court actually ruling that no, Fed's cook could not be immediately removed. The general consensus here is that if there is an investigation that reveals some type of mortgage fraud, then the removal would be allowed. But as of right now, Supreme Court denying Trump's request to immediately remove the Federal Reserve's Lisa Cook, but they will be considering the case over in January. So January 2026, we might get more clarity. Let's take a look here at the U.S. dollar on the daily chart. Now, the non-farm payrolls are not going to be coming out on Friday if the government is still shut down. I just watched the little, talk there with Mike Johnson and other Republican leaders. They're making it very clear that they want a resolution as soon as possible. We have a press conference with Democratic leaders. That's going to be coming through, Democrat leaders. That'll be at 11 a.m., so in about 10 minutes. That might give us more clarity in how things go. But with regards to the shutdown, that is, even if we argue it's not going to really impact the market, it will impact economic data, and that could impact rate cuts. Now, why is that the case? Because we know that we had two Feds yesterday alone, Goolsbee and Collins, both saying that if we miss data, especially CPI and the non-farm payrolls data, which we were expecting on Friday, that could really impact the rate decisions that are made because they don't have the full picture of data, right? So this could be really significant. 4-day losing streak right now for the DXY, but still making some higher lows after basing out on Fed Day, September 17th. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. And that's one thing to keep in mind. Like, we're not going to, the last government shutdown, you had some reports, economic data, that was a couple of weeks delayed. I think there were at least one or two reports that were like a month delayed. You still get them, but it also means that the Fed's not going to get that data.
Right.
And to the extent that it might matter, we'll find out. Look, with the shutdown literally just started. The betting odds, oh no, I just minimized it. Shoot. The betting odds this morning were saying at Kalshi, oh no, I lost it. Kalshi was about 11 days is what they were saying. I'll just double check here. Yeah, 11 days. No, it's not going to change. But more than 5 days, 84%, that was 70 something. And all of a sudden now there's some odds here, more than 15 days, up to 38%. So if you trust the betting markets to be somewhat of a decent indicator, I tend to think they are. Like here's the truth about.
The smartest people are in Vegas.
That's what I'm saying. Like these have been a better predictor for elections. These have been a really good predictor for who's going to go next in the S&P 500. Just name it. And where the money goes tends to be pretty true. And these are only getting bigger, these better betting markets. So, the markets are kind of betting that this is not going to be a 1 or 2 day event here. And that will mean that we'll get some delays on data. No questions asked. Like if this is more than a couple of weeks, then you better believe we're going to have more than a couple of weeks delay on some key economic data. And the Fed's going to have to sit on that, unfortunately. But we're already a little bit pensive about getting any further cuts anyways. So, we'll see. That doesn't help things, I don't think.
Yeah, we are excited for the potential of, Sharif likes the word pensive, so.
Is it?
He hit it.
Yeah?
He's the professor, so.
I don't think that's that big of a word.
No, nor do I, but he liked it. Nothing wrong with liking that word, man. I mean, word of the day right there. So I don't know. We're just going to wait to see what winds up happening here again with these TQs. I mean, we're in this trade. We've only been in one trade today, and like I said, well, one idea, and this was this short, and it's lighting the candle for me. So that's it. We don't need to do. I mean, we like to make as many trades as possible if we see the opportunities, but the opportunities have to be there. So I'm not going to try to make a mistake here and get into anything else. Where we only have 8 minutes left before we throw it over to the midday. And remember, if you guys aren't joined up, make sure you do that immediately, because you want, first of all, hit the like and the subscribe. We have a huge breaking news story coming in just 1 second, but make sure you do hit this like and subscribe right now. 1.1K so far. Do that, and then we'll talk about this join button in 1 second when we get back from Madeira.
Keep an eye here on Open Door. U.S. Representative Cleo Fields apparently filed for purchase of Open Door shares. So Open Door shares being purchased by an American politician here, guys. Back to you.
I think she's old, Miss Cleo.
Oh,
I was going to say I think maybe she had passed.
If she's dead, then I don't want to.
She had passed away. 1.1K there. There's Open Door right now. So moving up 10 cents. We'll wait to see if there is any more action on there. But now, if you just hit this join, and Nimrod in the chat is dropping out different memberships. So make sure you do grab one. If you haven't, do it right now. She did pass away.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. There you go.
Like 8 years ago.
All right. Maybe I should be predicting things. Right there. Now you get the members only morning research note with it as well, delivered right to your inbox. So nothing else to do. Make sure you subscribe. Get this funky Randy picture if you subscribe as well. So make sure you do that and have some fun with us, right? So that's what we're doing. Support the channel by hitting the like. And if you can't grab a Nimrod membership, $5 a month, we'll get you that delivered right to your inbox. And we're just trying that, something different. We put a lot of work into it. It's just $5. That's covering basically the transmission of it. Plus Google takes a percentage, we got to deal with that. So as you go, thank you so much for continuing. And that's one way to support us. Yesterday, I was wearing today we've got this hoodie on. Yesterday, of course, we were wearing the Trader TV Live hoodie, and we got a lot of questions about that. How could you guys support us through Trader TV Live merch? We don't sell those anymore. So this is a way to do it right there for just $5 a month.
And to get some value out of it.
Well, that's the whole point. And that's why we're doing it, is to get the value, right? Make sure you grab that, get the value, and be part of our community, right? Read the same notes we read every day, basically.
Pfizer going to 30, says James back. And then Mike Peter Ryder, is it cold in Canada? Relatively speaking, I'd say yes today. It was like 11 degrees when I left my house in the morning, whatever that works out to. I don't know, what is that, like?
What?
52?
What?
11 degrees? Yeah, whatever.
Oh, 11 degrees?
Yeah, it wasn't it's not very nice.
No, but it's supposed to be 25 degrees.
It's supposed to warm
Friday, yeah.
Friday warms back up. We won't get to room temperature today in Canada. Let's put it that way. I think we're supposed to be high of 18. So AMD did break that trend. Jumped in. I kind of missed flats, like 163 evens, I should say, not flats. I tried to get 163 even, and then just nibbled in here at 86. I left my order in on the off chance we get there. 162 is the open range high. Like that would be the obvious target. I'm already sitting there. See if we can get it. Bovin just said DXYZ is moving up. That's a Destiny Tech. When was the last time we talked about this? You get a little bit of everything with Destiny Tech. This is your only way to be invested in some of those, like SpaceX.
Right.
They got OpenAI, SpaceX, I know we're in this. But the one thing I remember, and this is not me speaking, this was months back, I remember reading a report that suggested if you actually look at the last funding raises for the companies that they hold, and do a bit of an evaluation there, the Destiny Tech was trading at too high of a premium. I don't know if that's still true to what it was holding because it's fallen back a lot. So maybe this is a more reasonable look. But you got to keep that in mind. Just because it holds OpenAI and SpaceX and you want to own them doesn't necessarily mean that this is valued well. Like you might be sitting there thinking that, yeah, I'm holding those stocks, but this thing is trading at like a 5x of the value of the things that it's holding. And you can look at those private funding raises or levels to be able to do that work. But I've never done it with Destiny, so I've never bought it. But this does look very good here today. We've seen it squeeze before. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. That's a good one, Bovin. Worth tracking, because I know a lot of people are always looking for exposure to some of the names that it does hold.
All right, yeah. I mean, I never really liked that. I mean, my biggest one, I've only ever bought ARKB. ARKQ is the robotics. I keep saying B. ARKQ, isn't that what it is? Oh, Blue Ocean. Amex? Yeah, so this is a robotics exposure. I really like, it still says Blue Ocean. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to something else. Let me go over to NVIDIA. Anyways, I really like that one, the robotics play. 187. Now my chart is froze. There it is. Wow, NVIDIA, man, new all-time highs, I believe, there for NVDA, man. Buy the king and forever be rewarded, it seems like, as NVIDIA right there goes up to 187.95. Yeah, that is brand new. Before today, it was 187.35 highs, and there it goes today. Wow. What a move right there on NVIDIA. What a move on Apple today. It's just... This is where we get, again, I'm starting to get that feeling where we've bought a lot of these names. Like we bought Apple at 212, not even that long ago. We bought, Eli Lilly was about a month ago or so. We bought Marvell not too long ago. We bought the other name we just talked about. My most recent buy was Nvidia, 175. Now all of a sudden it's 188. Like there's a lot of movement right here. I don't know. We had celebrated Apple breaking all-time highs before, but on our charts we don't necessarily have that. We have it about 259. Let me just see what.
Maybe on a closing.
Yeah, let me just see what the chart is on this. This is E-signal, tends to be just a little bit more accurate on that. No, so they have the same high as we do. 260.10. So we did celebrate Apple because we got a note from one of our viewers there that Apple had broken. But now that I'm looking at this, I have to throw a little bit of cold water on that. It does not look like Apple broke all-time highs, but came close enough to doing that. So great comment there. And whether or not Apple is up $1 or $2 from where we are right now, still Apple remains a great level there. And I want to buy more Apple on dips, not less. So we'll wait to see if that comes in again. Don't ever want to really get out of this position. I really like what Apple's doing right now, and let's just wait till they, get someone to pay them to use their AI and not the other way around. So we really like Apple up at these levels. So Apple continues to work here a little bit as well. And then the name that we hadn't looked at all today, Robinhood down 2%. That continues to go a little bit lower right now, near the lows of the day, and SoFi as well, trying to get to those lows of the day as well, as that gets a little bit lower. So yeah, not great love here for some of these names today. And then Webull had a nice bearish move 2 days ago, bullish move a little bit yesterday, or was it the other way around? Let's load this up and see. Yeah, so actually just back-to-back down days for Webull. So Webull got as high as $16 there, now fading back into the 50-period moving average. So just 10 seconds left. I'm only in this future short, which really isn't moving. We had gotten some out there, but we're waiting for a little bit lower here on this name.
Just one thing before we throw you guys over to the midday, just so I can get you the actual numbers, Destiny, which is DXYZ, they hold 52% is SpaceX. And then 7% is OpenAI. There's a bunch of other stuff, Epic Games, Revolut's in there, Chime, like Stripe. But like it's just, you know what you're getting into. Like it's like over half of it is SpaceX.
Yeah.
So, and then keep in mind, you have to then, like to do the work, like you'd have to then look at what the latest valuation is of all of these things, and then do the math, and then see whether that holds up and what kind of a premium you're paying for it overall. Oh, we didn't do what's for lunch. What did you guys eat yesterday?
Shitty. It was bolognese yesterday. It was really bad.
Oh.
Okay,
Really?
so yeah, I mean, putting spaghetti sauce on top of a pasta is, and especially.
But what did we get? Like the
Same thing. We got spaghetti sauce on top of the pasta. It was ridiculous. Anyways, is what it is. Very, very weird meals around this place these days, that's for sure. Today, let's see if it is true again here today. Thanks for reminding us, everybody in the chat, and Neil, with this one as well. Today should be okay. We've had this a couple times here. It's grilled Greek chicken. So I think that should be okay. They always put some good spice on that for the chicken. So I would say this is going to be a good one. Grilled Greek chicken with rice, seasoned vegetables, and of course, if you could guess what kind of salad, Greek salad. So right there, so we say hot dog gun, that should be a good one there if you're liking it. Okay, so here we go. We're almost stopped out of the TQQs as it does run to the top again. We're not doing anything too crazy with this trade. There it goes. If it takes the top, we're getting out. So we will end it there. We averaged it in. We took some fills there, but we're not doing anything crazy at 11 o'clock. Not today. So there it is. Good day overall today, man. One trade for me. Couple trades for this guy. Obviously we wound up green. I wound up green on the day, so I think that's very positive right there. And we'll just look to make more when we get back at 2 o'clock. So, all right, man. Good to have you back. Hopefully you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'll give it the meh. We're good enough to be in. That's all.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right. All right. Thank you for everybody. We're going off to the midday show. Make sure to hit that join.
And don't forget, every 2 hours, Nimrod says he's going to drop those memberships.
Yes,
so hit that
involved.
join. Make
Thanks,
sure you're in the
Nimrod.
chat and take part, because you get that free. Well, it'll be free for you if you get the memberships through Nimrod, that note from Sharif. So good luck to everybody in your trading. Market's going higher. Tesla going higher. Nvidia going higher. And Joey Options and Sharif about to give the goods.